Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio and a fine Libations Friday loosey-goosey edition of the program to you and yours. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. If you are to miss something, go back, get caught up whenever you want. We'll post the show all 3 hours, both to iTunes and our own audio vault upon the conclusion of said program. Email the show if you like, jcs at 979espnradio.com. You can find me on Twitter at JCameronShow. Also, the WTSM app works for your mobile devices. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you're doing well out there. Much better game than I anticipated last night in the National Football League. That was enjoyable to watch. Rather high-powered offenses going at it there. 38-31, the Rams win. They continue to light it up. They're now 4-0 and have to be considered the favorites to come out of the NFC and represent for the Super Bowl. They've seemed to got it covered in just about every facet of the game.
So Peters unexpectedly was available in this game, and it didn't matter because Cousins came to play. They couldn't run the ball, but Cousins had come to play last night.
I sat him, too, last night on my bench, and he would have lit it up for me. He had over 400 yards passing, the 3 touchdown passes. He was great.
But this qualifies now for the Rams as any way you want to line it up, we'll beat you.
We can do it.
Yeah.
We can do it. Yeah, they do. They've got weapons, and you just can't say enough about – everybody knows Gurley, and everybody understands what they have, but Goff is a really good quarterback right now. And, I don't care if you want to say it's because of the head coach and the system. And he's executing what they're trying to do. So, and he does it well, and he's accurate, and he's just a good player, and he's confident. You can certainly see that.
When they got the score before halftime, I said, all right, this is the excuse I needed, and I was off.
You're off to bed because
Yes,
you're going to get up early and watch the Ryder Cup team, which we'll touch on momentarily.
4:42 a.m., sir.
Yeah, that was a toughie, man. This thing started so blissfully for us, and then a couple of poor choices, followed by some poor shots, followed by the wind, followed by just disaster. So we're going to bring Trey Jones in later this hour, head golf coach, Florida State University, and get his thoughts on what I'm sure a lot of you are thinking about. The hell are we doing with Phil out there? What was that pairing? What are we doing?
It is about the dumbest move you could make, and we talked about this yesterday.
Yesterday, we did. We first guessed it.
On the phone, we were talking in the morning. You were saying, what do you think the pairings would be? And we were going back and forth, and it was, well, you can't play Phil in 4-ball.
No.
In alternate shot, excuse me.
No.
You play him in 4-ball if you play him in anything. And if that means sitting him out for the whole day, can you do it? You better. Are you interested in winning? Because that's the move.
Man.
That's the play. He's not playing well enough. You might be able to get away with it in 4-ball. But even then, that's still kind of a dumb move, and it's only because he's in his 12th consecutive Ryder Cup. Which, by the way, if he continues to play like he did today, let's just say he only is in the singles and he loses 7-5 or something, he should have only been playing in 11 Ryder Cups in the record books. This one doesn't count.
Well, it does count, unfortunately. Spot. It is a wasted spot, and we noted that, and we didn't know whether or not Jim Furyk would have the courage to leave him off the team. It's hard to do, I get it, but, man, he was playing terribly.
If you're going to play him, you don't play him in that spot. It's not his format. You're hanging a rookie out to dry. That kid's ready to throw up all over himself because it's his first Ryder Cup. And the first thing that Phil does is almost put it in the water, and now you've got both guys with all kinds of confidence issues.
Yeah, no, it was something to behold. We'll get into that in a bit. Trey Jones going to join us, Florida State's golf coach. He certainly can give us some insight. And, he probably has already talked to Brooks. So
Brooks won us a point today, although he putted terribly on the front nine.
Didn't have a good day on the front nine, no.
Terribly. He struck the ball well, putted like a jerk, but then he fought back as Brooks is wont to do.
That's what he does. He's a fighter, and that pairing, by the way, he and Dustin are good together. They're similar. Their mental makeup, their toughness, they're physically in shape, all that stuff is true. The college football game, not so entertaining last night. It was really a game until North Carolina decided to hand the ball to Miami repeatedly in a way that allowed them to score once handed the ball, like literally on the play. Not once, but twice in the first half. You just get, here you go. Now, give Miami credit, man. They fly around to the football, and it does seem infectious, and they are able to create turnovers in bunches. in a way that we're very envious of because it just doesn't happen around here for whatever reason. And now we're going on consecutive seasons where it is happening for Miami in a way that defies the numbers. It's not something sustainable, and a lot of it was just silly from North Carolina last night. If Carolina doesn't turn the football over, they're in a good game at halftime. They're right there. They have opportunities. They're moving the football, but they do turn it over, and that's part of it too.
Once again, Miami doesn't look like a very good team in terms of upper echelon Power 5 conferences.
They don't, but they're going to win the Coastal.
And they're in a weight class above us at the moment.
Yeah.
They've got enough speed. And I wanted to watch Perry last night, but he only threw the ball 12 damn times because they had such a big lead.
Yeah, they didn't need to do it, right?
There were a couple of throws I saw. I said, ooh, I can see why, recruiting services love this kid at the very least because he's got quite an arm on him. But what was concerning to me is Miami was definitely working on some up-tempo stuff last night, and that's a weakness of ours. So that's not good.
Yeah, I don't worry about up-tempo as much as I do linebacker play for us, just on the whole, against anything.
Well, you have speed to the perimeter with a tailback position or a slot receiver, so that is, if you're trying to get from point A to point B and we're in man, you can see where they might expose some weaknesses, and we will blow a coverage deep, and that kid's got a good enough arm to take advantage of it.
Without question. Well, listen, Miami's going to be a big-time favorite against us, and for good reason. We're not going to be anticipated to win that game. I wouldn't predict us to win that game. I don't think that we're going to be all that competitive in that game. I really hope I'm wrong. Speaking of us, speaking of our game, the game tomorrow against Louisville, 3:30, this is, as I've said all week, kind of a must-win. It sounds strange to say. And, of course, anything's a must-win if you think it's the difference between making the postseason and not, or making, or continuing a streak that matters greatly to all of us because it's all that's left to care about right now, that along with growth. But if you lose tomorrow, you're going to be, on a – well, what will happen is if you lose tomorrow, you're going to carry that over and be on a 2-game losing streak headed to a bye before facing Wake because you're not beating Miami next week. So all of a sudden, it would be completely off the rails. I mean, it's – right now, it doesn't quite feel like a lost cause. Right now, it feels like I'm hanging on to a glimmer of hope here, and a win tomorrow further, emboldens you to believe that making a bowl is possible.
I think the Miami series, not to get ahead of ourselves for this, tomorrow's game is huge, and I understand that. But just in terms of watching the program, the way the Miami series has gone has spoken volumes about the health of our program. Think about it. In 2010, we absolutely annihilate them and announce to the state.
We were on an upward motion.
Here we come, right? 11, that game was a little bit closer than we would have. Well, 11, hang on. I'm trying to remind myself which game was that. We'll move on to 12. So 12, we go down there and we handle business, no problem. Chris Thompson would have gone over 1,000 yards that season.
Yes, he would have. That's tragic.
Unfortunately for him, he blows out his knee, and he was playing great that night.
Yes, he was.
I remember the 11 game. James Wilder, Devonta Freeman, they scored a bunch of rushing touchdowns. We handled that game fine now. 13, we played terribly and won 41-14. Then 2014, this begins a run where you see kind of the weakness, some of the details that we were losing, right? That game, Miami was up and probably should have won. It was one of our many escape jobs in 2014. In 2015, we were so terrible in situations in that first half that Miami had a fighting chance in the second half.
Ridiculous.
One they never should have had.
Yeah.
And that was one of Dalvin's heroic nights. Everett Golson started that game, and Miami had the lead in the second half. We had to wrestle it away from him.
29-24.
2016, we go down there, and thanks to Brad Kaya, we win that football game. He throws an interception at the absolute worst possible time.
They're about to blow us out.
They are about to blow us out.
Yeah, and not only do we get the pick, then we run the trick play to Dalvin, and then,
So even when we feel like we're at the height of our power in 2014, you start to see things dwindle, and hopefully this isn't a continuation of that trend next weekend.
Oddly enough, though, the game you're talking about announcing our presence with authority in 2010, 45-17, yeah, we do end up having a series of closer games that shouldn't have been in the midst of a 7-game win streak, with the exception being in 2013, where we don't play well at all and win 41-14. Miami's yet to have this signature, we're on the rise, you're on the decline win, because 24-20 last year was an indictment of them. We were in total disarray, terrible football team, and played a much better football game by and large than Miami did, and should have actually had a chance to really beat them badly. But we don't cash in the first half. the game sticks around to being close, and in the end, they break our hearts 24-20 on the last drive.
Speaks to where we were as a program.
It does.
Where we are as a program. And what you're worried about next week is that now they can make a definitive statement and go into living rooms and say it's back-to-back years now, kids.
Well, it's back-to-back years, and oh, by the way, it's getting worse. We found a way to, win and end the losing streak, and now we just beat their ass. And Mark's got it rolling here, and Willie's got some time to work things out, but you don't want to go through that. Come on down here and be with us.
Right.
Yeah, no, I know. I know the pitch. Sure.
A win tomorrow goes a long way in giving us a fighting chance next week. You got to have that for confidence purposes.
Without question. They haven't beaten anybody who's any good at all. They've beaten, Samford and Northern Illinois, and both games were relatively close. One was real close, and the other one was still close in the second half. Can't happen. You got to beat an ACC foe. If you beat Louisville, again, I talk about false confidence all the time, but confidence nonetheless, a belief that you can be better than you have been, and it's followed after victories or successes on the playing field. That's what gives you a belief that you can do more. I thought that they were pretty buoyed last week over a victory over Northern Illinois, and while those of us on the sidelines can certainly roll our eyes and say, that's where we're at, we got to get excited about beating Northern Illinois, it doesn't matter that we think that. It matters that the offensive line, which had been a sieve, began to believe a little bit that they didn't have to be the world's worst unit on the football field at any given time. Tamorian Terry had a big play deep. He's a kid who's electric. He believes now that's an opportunity at each game to go out there and make an impact in this game. And you talk about Chestnuts assemble USA's final day at the Ryder Cup, 7 a.m. Sunday at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
Just how good does a Sport Clips championship haircut experience make you feel? Like your hair has its own walk-up music. No matter what kind of guy you are. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you play sports online. Or maybe your sport is keeping up with your kids. You want hair so good it deserves its own walk-up music. And at Sport Clips, we make it easy. Just check in online, choose your stylist, and head to Sport Clips. You'll get a game-changing cut from a stylist trained for guys. Go big with the MVP experience and get recharged with a massaging shampoo and their legendary hot steamed towel. They'll always finish strong by styling your hair just right, tightening up that beard and getting you on your way. Hair this good needs no introduction, but you'll want one anyway. Appointment-free championship haircuts for men and boys surrounded by what you know and love, sports. So get in line online today at sportclips.com/check-in and get your hair in the game.
Hi, this is Peter Bond, owner of Jerry's Cigar Shop. Jerry's has been a local favorite for cigar enthusiasts for the last 25 years. We have the largest walk-in humidors in town, filled to the brim with an amazing cigar selection. Relax in one of our leather chairs and enjoy an ice-cold beer or a glass of wine with your cigar. Jerry's is a great place to watch sports on our big flat-screen TVs and offers a comfortable setting for lively conversation. Visit our original store on Scherer Road or our new second location on Cary Forest Parkway. We hope to see you soon.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love?
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love. Somebody.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Headed to the new Gordos, 'cause Eddie hit a home run just like the old Gordos. Ooh-hoo-hoo-hoo.
Jeff, I'm sitting right here, man. Why do you always speak about me in the third person?
Loving the new Gordos.
You gotta quit singing, man.
Got the outside deck. When the weather shifts, I'm gonna sit outside at the new Gordos.
Are we ever gonna get there? Can you speed up, please?
Lots of TVs.
1460 Market Street.
Woohoo.
You know what? It's time you level up your lemon lime with clear, refreshing Mountain Dew Ice. We get it. You're used to a certain kind of lemon lime experience. But why settle for this when you could have this? You want a fist bump that ends in one of those fake explosions?
Hey, Charles.
Or a fist bump that ends in an actual explosion?
Hey, Charles.
Want to pull up to the party on this? Or arrive in this? Take this last second shot? Or make the last second shot? Make this musical request? Or this one? So yeah, you can keep drinking the same old, but we think you'll like the exploding fist bump, last second shot, showing up to the party properly way to lemon lime, right? Mountain Dew Ice. Clear, refreshing lemon lime, redefined.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming is at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less. Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in. Or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Well, Tom and I certainly like to talk about the Ryder Cup, but we figured, when you're friends with this guy, why don't you have this guy on? This would make much more sense. He's the head coach at Florida State University, the head golf coach there. He's my buddy Trey Jones. He is the man on the show Beyond the Tips, too. I should always mention that. And I got to ask you, Coach, first of all, man, why in the hell are we starting 48-year-old Phil Mickelson in alternate shot? What are we doing?
Jeff, I hate to say this, but you almost have to look at that pairing and wonder if it was made up between Furyk and Bjorn before it ever started, because they throw their dog out there too in Sergio. Okay, so we both throw the dogs in the same match. Come on. I mean, and Phil's record in that event is about as good as yours and mine.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a head scratcher.
In that format, he's 5-8-4. He sucks.
Right.
And even though, Sergio had been struggling, he's won. That's now his 10th foursome match that he's won. He's great in that event. It's terrible.
Yeah. And that, like I said, that was one. If you could choose one, I would say not to put Tiger or Phil in. It would be that one. But whatever reason, they gambled, and at least they're not tired. Only bad thing is,
what do you do?
It might be Sunday before those guys get to see the 15th hole.
I was going to ask you that. What do you do now? You're coaching. You do this all the time, right? I mean, so Garcia and Noren boat race you in historic fashion. Now, what do you do as a coach moving forward with this?
Well, Bryson's been playing great, so they're going to find another avenue for him. Phil probably is going to get a good rest in it before the singles start. I'm guessing. But like I said, you never know if these have already been predetermined or not. But you have to look at the other guys on the team, Jeff, and go, hey, are we playing to win, or are we playing for participation points here? Do we want everybody to play like Little League? What's the objective?
Hey, I'm gonna let Tom ask you a question. Now, obviously, he played golf in high school and then loves the sport and loves the Ryder Cup. And he and I have been going back and forth on this all day about what we should do. And I know you got like 10 questions.
Well, I got bona fides.
Well,
I got credentials here. I played
Come
high
on,
school.
Tom.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's ask Trey. Let's
Hey,
ask him.
Is Tom the reason we don't do call-ins that much on our show?
No. Go. Ask him what you want.
Well, Coach, okay, so the afternoon session today, not only is Phil playing an alternate shot versus 4-ball really stupid, but then you're rolling Bubba Watson and Webb out there too? Why would you ever – you're putting 4 of your weakest players out there. I think Webb's playing okay, but why would you put Bubba out there with Phil at the same time if they're only going to play one match or maybe one session before singles on Sunday?
100%. It just – that opposite thing doesn't work. You're better off playing two crazy guys together that are used to playing wild golf than you are along in a straight. And they used to play Tiger and Furyk together, and because Furyk could hit it a spot where Tiger could play from. But in general, it's just not how they're accustomed to playing. They're never playing their own game at that point. So they're better. You're better off playing two guys that hit straight, two ball control guys together. Let them get in a rhythm, and then play two wild guys together. Just let them smash it around and get it up and down and be creative. Than doing that. Now, once again, I'm the golf coach at Florida State. We don't play those formats. We don't see that, and they're well more versed in that than I am, and coaches in general. Tom, don't second guess themselves, but it's pretty easy to second guess those two pairings. I agree.
Well, a second question I have: you can set the order of events, right? So they could have played alternate shot in the morning and 4-ball in the afternoon. It's host country's choice. Why wouldn't you start out with playing foursomes instead of 4-ball? If you're Europe, because I know what happened 2 years ago, but if you go back 4 years ago to last time Europe hosted, the Europeans took 7 out of 8 points playing alternate shot. Yeah. So wouldn't you want to put the United States behind the 8-ball psychologically? Because who knows if guys are pressing now, I don't know that we come away with 3 points in the afternoon session if we're down 4-0.
I can't tell you from a coaching perspective, but I can tell you from a player's perspective. I would rather go get in a rhythm and play my own ball than hit every other shot. to me, that just isn't what I'm used to doing, isn't how I do. But obviously, those guys that are going out there today, that was their first match anyway. So
right.
It kind of disputes that theory. But personally, I would rather go out as a player and play my own ball than play an alternate shot out of the gate. But good question on that. I haven't done the research like you have. How many times have they done that? Do you know? Have they started that way?
That's a good question. I know that 2 years ago, obviously, the Americans did very well in the first session, and they were playing foursomes, not four ball. But, you would think just common sense of how much they know the course over there. If you look at the total starts of our roster and their roster playing in France at that particular course, you would think.
And by the way, once that wind kicked up, you
right.
can see this was. Spieth and Thomas made one birdie in their match.
Well, it's a different wind direction today than it has been in the practice rounds too.
Right.
I'm also struck by DJ and Fowler, 16 holes and 3 over par. I mean, you had, you had guys that you thought would play well. Everybody was awful in the second session.
They were, and I think you made a good point, Jeff, with the wind. We had some guys that were up this morning until the wind started blowing too.
That's right.
And those matches got close, and we came away with a win with Justin and Jordan, who they're 3 up at the turn, and I guess they just ran out of holes, or they were going to lose that one.
They were going to, yeah, you're right. They were hanging on for dear life. By the way, what this means, and I don't know how. I mean, obviously all 3 of us and everybody listening, I would assume is hoping the Americans can bounce back, but this is an ominous sign. I wanted to look this up. Since the event's inception, there have been 9 previous instances of 4-0 sessions. The U.S. swept foursomes in 47. They turned the trick again in 63, 75, and 81. Most recently in the opening session of the 2016 Cup at Hazeltine, there have also been 4-0 sweeps in 4 balls, 2 for the U.S., 2 for Europe. So here's the question, right? The bigger question. Has a team ever lost a session 4-0 and gone on to win the Cup? And the answer is no, it's never happened.
Never happened. A baseball guy, and you've got all your stats. There's also a 78% chance of winning if you win the first point. And we did that too.
Okay.
So you're going to be able to find a number probably on either side of that deal. So.
Well, that makes me feel better. That's why you're on, Trey. Thank you. Because I wanted to see. I went and looked up all these numbers, and there are 4 or 5 different articles to choose from with these numbers. And I don't care about going back to 63 or even 67, but a lot of these articles do. But it did blow me away that nobody's ever done it. Come back from losing a session 4-0.
And don't. I think there needs to be an asterisk by it that says some of those stats were before Jack Nicklaus came out and said, why don't we include all Europe? And it was just GB and I at that time too.
Yeah, no, that's true. Hey, before we move on from this, or actually as we move on from this, but before we let you go, how's the team looking, Coach? For everybody listening, obviously, you've had it rolling for a long time, and I know we certainly talk about it here, and I get the privilege of talking to you on a regular basis about the team. But what do you think early on?
Well, I'll answer a question with a question. Who's your favorite player, John?
Well, you know my guy. John Pack is the man right there.
He is the man.
He is the man.
I've got a great player in John Pack as a sophomore, and he's already won a golf tournament this year, shot 62 his opening round at Duke. You don't just do that. He had the best freshman year of any player we've ever had here. So that's a good starting point for the team in the starting for the year. I feel like we've got some younger players that are about to get some experience that are really talented, and our older guys need to step up. So that's where we're at right now, and it's the fall season counts the same as the spring, and we're about to go over to Camp Creek and Shark's Tooth for a retreat since our course is closed here, and we'll come back and then head up to Muirfield. So we got a tough life.
Yeah, a real tough life. I'm not allowed to talk about just how incredible the new course is going to be, am I? Well, I can talk about it, but I can't give details. Yeah,
it's going to be great. I was riding around yesterday with the guy, and they just said, you're going to be able to do whatever you want to here. And one of the other gentlemen came up and said, you're staring at a potential top 100 golf course in the United States. So
I got to tell everybody.
encouraging.
I got to tell everybody listening out here. It's so cool to watch a guy, in this case, my friend and head coach Trey Jones at Florida State, get to be almost childlike as we're going over the holes, and he's showing me the idea of what they want to do and what Jack's going to do to the course and Nicholas design and all that stuff. He's like a little kid, Tom. It's incredible to watch. Just the smile on his face. It made me smile the rest of the evening after we finished our show on Sirius XM. So I know you're pumped, and you should be. Tom, final question. Go.
All right. I know you're biased, Coach, but talk to me about starting somebody for all 5 sessions. Would you have done it for Brooks, and is he capable of doing it?
Oh, he's absolutely capable of doing it. And if there's one guy, I'd say he and Dustin could do that, just because they're so fit. Mentally, I'm not sure. Brooks is, he always looked at golf is easy. When it would start raining or if the conditions would get bad, I'd say, hey, man, what do you need? And, Coach, it's golf. I'm 19 years old, 20 years old. I don't need you to carry my umbrella. I don't need you to carry my rain suit. There's guys my age is fighting wars right now. I think I can get from 1 to 18. And that's a quote coming out of his mouth. So you're just like, whoa, okay, man. You're good, huh? I'm good. So
you wouldn't have sat him this afternoon.
I think that
I
answers.
would never.
You would
I
never
would
sit
never. I would never sit him until there was overwhelming evidence that I had someone else better behind him. And I'll ask you now. Do you feel like there was someone better behind him?
No.
Oh, Phil Mickelson in a heartbeat.
Oh, Trey, thanks, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
All
Awesome show. Let's do it all the time.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Be well. That's Trey Jones, head golf coach, Florida State. Yeah, he's great. He's fun to talk to, and you know Trey as well.
Oh, he'll throw down. He'll tell you the truth.
He's not bashful, and he's not afraid to give you an opinion.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Won 3 of the 4 morning matches. ESPN's Michael Collins.
Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas together. Jordan Spieth on his own birdied 5 of the first 7 holes. And it was like Jordan was just mad he didn't make it to the Tour Championship and came out throwing haymakers at anybody who was standing near him. And then the European makes a huge comeback. Paul Casey and Tyrrell Hatton, it was just like, what you think, we just going to lay down on our home soil? It's not like that. The drama that was this morning was fantastic.
Spieth and Thomas did win that morning match, 1 up, but Europe holds the lead 5-3 after day 1 in Paris. Eagles running back Darren Sproles will miss his 3rd game in a row with a sore hamstring. The Eagles face the Titans on the road on Sunday. Giants linebacker Olivier Vernon is out for Sunday's game against the Saints with an ankle injury. Chris Bryant will be back in the Cubs lineup today playing left field against the Cardinals. He missed the last 2 games with a bruised left wrist. That Cubs-Cardinals game 1 of 3 on today's schedule impacting the playoff race. The Rockies host the Nationals in Denver tonight. The Dodgers play the Giants in San Francisco. The Cardinals, Rockies, and Dodgers are battling for the last 2 available playoff spots. UCLA freshman Sharif O'Neal, the son of Basketball Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal, will redshirt the upcoming season for medical reasons. Sharif O'Neal tells TMZ he needs heart surgery, but that he should make a full recovery.
Hey there, Hula Bro Tehran. It's me, the dancing hula girl on your desk. I know, I got that voice to go with these hips. Word of advice for you, brother. I saw that office email about catering. Why don't you hit reply all and type in MetroDeliTally.com. Enjoy your promotion. Oh yeah, Metro Deli. MetroDeliTally.com.
Oh, man. Did you hear that Zingali's Billiards and Sports Bar is gone?
No, it's not gone. They moved back in January to Appalachia Parkway.
Is it the same Zingali's?
Not quite. It's bigger, has great food, more craft beer and wine, and has one of the best bars in town to watch a game, with 14 total TVs throughout the restaurant. Best of all, it's non-smoking.
Wait a minute. You mean I can shoot pool and watch the game all day long without having to worry about smoke?
Exactly. You can play darts, duckpin bowling, and shuffleboard, too.
Wow. I didn't realize Zingali's had so much to offer.
They sure do.
Zingali's Billiards and Sports Bar. New location on Appalachia Parkway.
With football season in full swing, don't forget about fishing our local waterways after the games. Fish are still biting regardless of the score. Sea Quarters Marina, Carabel, Florida. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The marina has a ship store, which includes fuel, bait, tackle, ice, and all of your fishing supplies for the trip. Both diesel and non-ethanol fuel is available. Free Wi-Fi and pump out with boat slip rental. Sea Quarters Marina, 501 St. James Avenue, Carabel, Florida, 697-8400. Visit them online at seaquartersmarina.com.
Wow, E Plus is great.
E Plus? Is that like A Plus?
It's better. The E stands for energy, but it should stand for easy.
Easy Plus?
Yep, easy ways to save energy, water, and money through the City of Tallahassee utilities. Easy ways to monitor our account, easy ways to pay our bill online, check our balance, compare usage history, and so much more.
And I see the City of Tallahassee Utilities has a smart bill, which sends our bill directly to our email inbox for easy payment online, too. What a time saver.
And when we download the City of Tallahassee's digital app, we can do everything on our phones, even report service issues like a power outage or blocked road.
Plus, when we go to talgov.com, we can get more information on other great City of Tallahassee utilities, like the Energy Star rebates and insulation grants. Wow, the E really should stand for easy.
Yep, E Plus from the City of Tallahassee Utilities. It helps customers save energy, water, and money.
Being good at life means getting your finances together so you can focus on the moments that matter most. With over 170 years of expertise, New York Life Insurance Company provides you with benefits you can enjoy while you're, living. So give Andrew Nelson, your local New York Life agent, a call. He can help you build a solid financial future to help you and your family be good at life. You can reach him at 850-583-4460 or look for him at newyorklife.com.
SMRU number 1709096, expiration 7/31/2020.
The hardest working man in comedy is back. Kevin Hart. It's the Irresponsible Tour.
I caught my dad giving my kids raw candy out of his pocket. Candy with no wrapper. It was loose. It was just in his pocket. He said,
The box office smash comedian, Kevin Hart.
Where the lines at on that peppermint?
Kevin Hart.
5 minutes go by, I saw my dad take that peppermint out of his mouth, put it back in his pocket. Those were half-sucked on peppermints.
Friday, October 12th in Tucker Civic Center. Get tickets at the box office and online at tuckerciviccenter.com. Don't miss Kevin Hart.
Change your oil at Superlube every 3 months or 3,000 miles for a longer-lasting engine and better gas mileage. Change your oil at Superlube today, and for a limited time, you'll get a free car wash. Right now at Superlube, you never need an appointment. You'll be in and out in no time. And with 19 Tallahassee area locations, there's a Superlube just minutes away right now.
Boy, this place is sure convenient. How I love to Superlube my car, lube my car. How I love to Superlube my car. Yes, sir.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
We heard you loud and clear. We'll do the right thing. I keep forgetting. Sometimes we've been on a remote, but excuses aside, we have failed to come up with the hell to the nah team of the week. I think 2 weeks running, maybe 3.
I think it's 2 out of 3.
Damn it, man. That's my bad. That should never happen, so we'll make it right today. I didn't announce it yesterday during Redemption Thursday. I barely got to my games yesterday as the show went on, but we certainly didn't do a hell to the nah team of the week, so we're going to do it. We're going to do it now.
We would not 100% have not picked Old Dominion last week.
No, we would not, because that number was 28.5, I think, or 28, and we usually tend to look for numbers, bare minimum in the 30s if we can find them. We got one in the 30s. This cracked me up. And I'm not trying to be mean. I know it's going to come across as me being mean yet again. And I'll reveal that here momentarily. If you would, here's our Hell to the Nah team of the week.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell no, no, to the no, no.
All right, our Hell to the Nah team of the week for Saturday's action is the Tennessee Volunteers, as they come into the game against Georgia as currently 31-point underdogs. They were 32.5 when the line was released. 31-point underdogs to their SEC East brethren.
Boy, that 1.5 really matters, huh?
My God, man. Jeez, Tennessee. 31-point underdogs in conference to Georgia. Not Alabama, Georgia. Good luck as our Hell to the Nah team of the week. Of course, Tennessee just got blown out at home by Florida. Fans were pleased to see that. I'll note something, Tom. I always do when we talk about Tennessee. We shouldn't be so flabbergasted at how the point spread could be 31 points or why the outlook for Tennessee is never good, seemingly ever. But I came across an article because I wanted to see the last time Tennessee was such a prohibitive underdog, and I went and looked, and I saw something that blew me away. So the basis for the article was who's the worst team in the SEC, and they talked about how far back do you want to go, and they were saying, for example, a lot of people think it's Vanderbilt. But Kentucky had a worse record in the last decade in the SEC than Vanderbilt. And then they started to come out of it, and obviously they've got some things going right now with Mark Stoops. UT's record against Vanderbilt in the last 10 meetings is 6-4. But Vanderbilt has won 4 of the last 6. And not only that,
that makes sense.
They've won. They've also won the last 2 times that they've played, so they're on a winning streak. And over the same decade, Tom, Vanderbilt's record in the SEC is 22-58. Tennessee's is 26-54. So,
a couple of turnovers here or there, missed kicks.
Close. Tennessee, in essence, what I'm trying to say, as 31-point underdogs as the Hell to the Nah team of the week, is really not appreciably better than Vanderbilt, the worst team in the SEC.
To the now, hell. To the now. To the now.
When you go into the seasons coming up, the next couple, you ask yourself, will the worst team in the SEC, and somebody might go, and who's that, Jeff? Oh, Tennessee. And then, I'm sorry, Vanderbilt. But it's awfully close. It's awfully close.
So what said it all about last week, beyond the fact that they completely the bed, was during the broadcast for Tennessee and Florida. Florida's up big early, as you well know.
Oh, yes.
So Pruitt is losing it on his defense. Mm-hmm. He actually kicks the whiteboard.
Yes, he does.
He heel kicks the whiteboard as he walks back to his perch on the sideline. And the color analyst says in that moment, now you got to be careful here. These aren't guys that you've recruited. So you've got to be really careful about how much you're going to jump down their throats in a moment like this, because they don't know you for 4 and 5 years. Next play, shot down the field, touchdown. That was the next time the defense was on the field.
I don't think Jeremy Pruitt, and I said this the day he was hired, made a good head coaching candidate. I don't see it. I've never seen it. He can barely speak the English language. This is a guy that is quirky in a way that is not beneficial when you're in the role of head coach. You've got to go all over and all over the South and raise money and convince boosters and people to see the world the way you see the world and to believe in your vision. And if you can't speak English, it's difficult to do that. In addition to the fact that his personality is such that I don't know that he's relatable. I don't – who gets the guy? I mean, who gets him? I'm not trying – this isn't a personal attack on Jeremy Pruitt, who was fine when we interacted with him, but, I mean, go play the clip. Play whole part whole. I mean, good. I didn't know.
Throwback?
I legitimately didn't know what he was saying.
Whole part whole.
What is that gibberish?
Whole part whole.
So, and that was my question about how you teach the defense, the system you want to run. And I remember holding the recorder, and he said that.
Whole part whole.
And I looked around at everybody else. I can't recall if you were standing there, but I remember looking over and then desperately searching into the eyes of my cohorts. Somebody needed to translate in that moment what was being said to me.
Whole part whole.
Sorry. Anyhow, and he was the 10th guy on the list, or 11th. I don't remember which one it was. 13th? Which one was he when they finally settled on him? And the very first thing he did was insult the fans. I don't know.
You guys got to be par ho.
I am probably not.
I need you to be par ho.
I know. I am not being fair here. I'm again looking at some stuff here with the players, and I'm reading this article about the last 10 years. SEC records prior to this season. First of all, in the last 10 years, prior to this year, Alabama's 71-9. That's incredible.
Right, and that factors in 08, 09, that area.
Yeah.
Where Saban was still building.
Georgia 54-26. LSU 53-27. Florida 52-28. Auburn 42-38. South Carolina 42-38. How about South Carolina? Mississippi State 35-45. Ole Miss 32-48. Arkansas 30-50.
Arkansas.
Better record than Tennessee.
Oh.
Kentucky had the worst. Vanderbilt was 22-58, just barely ahead of Kentucky, but Tennessee eked out ahead of Vanderbilt. So it's crazy, man. We could have never envisioned a time where I thought that Tennessee would ever be a 30-plus point underdog to Georgia. It's a rivalry game. What in the world?
Well, what they did in the first half last week against Florida was akin to what the Americans did this afternoon in the Ryder Cup.
You are so mad about that.
That's true now.
I know.
Anything that could go wrong, they made it go wrong. It didn't happen to them. They made it go wrong.
Or it was a little bit like us against Louisville the last time we were there.
That also was like the Americans' performance this afternoon.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. This Sunday, the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill is opening early for the final day of the Ryder Cup. The matches get going bright and early Sunday morning, 6:05 a.m. to be exact, and the CP will be open at 7 a.m. So golf nuts, assemble USA's final day at the Ryder Cup, 7 a.m. Sunday at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in. Or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4-, 5-, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Guys, when that little voice in your head suddenly tells you, hey, it's time to get your hair in the game, then it's time to check in online at sportclips.com/check-in.
Time to claim your spot.
Hear that? That's the sound of your hair reminding you that anytime is a good time to log on, check in, and reserve your spot at your favorite Sport Clips for a fresh cut, legendary hot steam towel, and massaging shampoo. No matter if it happens at the gym, while grabbing a quick lunch, or trying to line up a putt, you can't deny your hair. So do it a favor by checking in online at sportclips.com/check-in. We'll tell you when to arrive to be just in time for your Sport Clips MVP haircut experience while you surround yourself with sports on TV. Check it out today and claim your spot wherever you are. Just go to sportclips.com/check-in. At Sport Clips, getting a game-changing haircut is easier than ever.
Time to claim your spot.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Hi, Kevin Harlan for Navien tankless water heaters. With fall coming, energy bills will be on the rise. That's why now is a good time to install an energy-efficient Navien tankless water heater. In fact, Navien earned the industry's highest Energy Star rating. A Navien tankless water heater is a smart alternative to that old energy-wasting tank water heater. Fall's coming, so start cutting your energy bills with a Navien tankless water heater. For the name of your professional Navien contractor, visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.
The All-Team All-American Tailgate Party is coming to 4 Points Hotel in Tallahassee Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Whitten Glass.
Whitten Glass has been taking care of business since 1945. When you call Whitten Glass, you're dealing with experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best. Like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures that provide style and luxury at an affordable price. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass. We'll help you design it and install it. Wooden Glass, the first name in glass replacement. Call 222-5781.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. For the first time since 1989, a 4-0 session sweep at the Ryder Cup. Team Europe wins all 4 afternoon alternate shot matches, with none of those matches getting beyond the 16th hole. Team USA won 3 of the 4 morning matches. ESPN's Michael Collins.
Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas together. Jordan Spieth on his own birdied 5 of the first 7 holes. And it was like Jordan was just mad he didn't make it to the Tour Championship and came out throwing haymakers at anybody who was standing near him. And then the European makes a huge comeback. Paul Casey and Tyrrell Hatton, it was just like, what you think, we just going to lay down on our home soil? It's not like that. The drama that was this morning was fantastic.
Spieth and Thomas did win that morning match 1-up, but Europe holds the lead 5-3 after day 1 in Paris. Eagles running back Darren Sproles will miss his 3rd game in a row with a sore hamstring. The Eagles face the Titans on the road on Sunday. Giants linebacker Olivier Vernon is out for Sunday's game against the Saints with an ankle injury. Chris Bryant will be back in the Cubs lineup today playing left field against the Cardinals. He missed the last 2 games with a bruised left wrist. That Cubs-Cardinals game 1 of 3 on today's schedule impacting the playoff race. The Rockies host the Nationals in Denver tonight. The Dodgers play the Giants in San Francisco. The Cardinals, Rockies, and Dodgers are battling for the last 2 available playoff spots. UCLA freshman Sharif O'Neal, the son of Basketball Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal, will redshirt the upcoming season for medical reasons. Sharif O'Neal tells TMZ he needs heart surgery, but that he should make a full recovery.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Hour number 2 on a Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the program. Hope you're well. Thanks for tuning to it. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always, don't miss things. Sometimes you miss things. All 3 hours get posted if you do upon the conclusion of the show. We'll throw it up on iTunes. We'll also put it up on the website in the archived audio. Email the show if you want, jcs@979espnradio.com. All right. Hope you're doing well out there. As we're wont to do on a Libations Friday, we bring in our buddy Lee Sterling at Paramount Sports and take a closer look at some of these games. Your Canes got it done last night, Lee. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Late night. Did a little tailgate after the game.
Good times.
Yeah. So it's fun when you win. 6 turnovers. You're not going to lose.
No.
Not going to lose too many games when you get 6 turnovers. So fun game. Love the uniforms. What do you think of the Miami black uniforms?
I don't like them. I don't like them.
You don't?
No. I like them.
I think it's the best combination they have.
No, when you wear the green and white, my friend, the regal green and white.
White.
With the dark
You
green.
probably like that because you beat us when we wore green and white a couple times.
Well, hell, we beat the hell out of you for almost a decade straight, so you wore all kinds of combinations. But I honestly, I think that the forest green, the less orange, the better. So I'm okay with you there. So if you have less orange.
We're not wearing the black uniforms for the Florida Florida State game, so you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I wasn't worried about it. I mean, we're not going to beat you whatever uniform you wear for this game. So I like if you wear all white, and I also like when you wear the white pants with the green tops. I think those look sharp.
And I think those are the worst two combinations.
What's wrong with you? Why would
I like the traditional white pants and the orange jerseys.
Orange
with the throwback, going back to like the 90s. Those are my.
I get it.
Those and the black are my two favorites.
Well, your nostalgia comes from winning all those games in the 90s, and I understand that, but orange is hideous. I can't deal with orange of any kind. It's like, I laugh because the two rivals of Florida State both wear orange, and I'm like, well, that just figures, you know. So, but
I get it.
All right.
Here's one thing I know for sure, Jeff.
Yes.
Your turnover backpack, no one's going to steal that on the way down.
Well, it's not my turnover backpack.
Can you imagine if someone went into, let's say whoever brings that thing down here, and they stole it, they'd be like, I don't want it. They'd like put it back. You know, if it was at like a rest stop, they're like, oh, okay, I made a mistake here. Let's put this thing back.
I did some Miami radio last week down there on QA. Is it QAM? I was on with that team, the former Florida football player and the other guy.
Channing Crowder.
Yeah, I was on with Channing Crowder and whoever the other guy is.
Mark Hockman.
And they were teasing me about the backpacks, and I said, "Listen, guys, I'm not going to defend the backpack. I don't like it. What do you want me to say? I mean, I think it's such a simple fix. You just hold up a spear. It'd be better than other than the turnover chain, which I think is great because it was original. It would be the next best thing is that spear. It'd be incredible.
Yeah, they get maybe something on their helmet, you know, some emblem, or they paint the face, you know, of you get some garnet and gold paint, do a couple stripes there. You know, that would be great. But
something
by far the worst. The worst.
I mean,
every poll I've seen. This is
it's
making
not
you guys
good.
go soft.
Yeah, it is weird. I think I like the rice chalice.
That was good. How about the turnover? The
chainsaw?
The turnover saw.
No, I don't. We don't need to be breaking out chainsaws.
It was original. I mean, for a week, it's kind of interesting.
It is.
And then you have I think Boise State. They have
a throne,
right? On the throne.
Yeah. I like the throne. The throne's okay. Yeah, it's out there. I just think everybody's obviously copying Miami, so I would have at some point just not done anything. I would have just let Miami have their thing.
That's the best thing if you're a rival. You don't even act like it exists.
No. You just kind of keep on keeping on. You know,
here's the biggest problem though with the new turnover chain. It's so elaborate. They're having trouble producing them. So
I said last year, and I angered my Noel brethren that I thought it was great. I thought it was unique to Miami. It's one of the. What's funny is it's one of the things that the rest of us make fun of Miami for, but at the same time, it is so Miami that it works. It's so perfect.
It's the bling. It's the bling and the showing off. South Beach. It fits in perfectly. So
it's just funny. They did a good job with it, and it's done on the sideline, so it's not the same as showing off in somebody's face. You're doing it together.
Let me tell you something. These kids, and there's a bunch of kids that aren't even interested in coming to Miami. I truly believe that. I've heard through some different circles. There was kids that went on the trip to Miami just so they could get in the locker room and put on the turnover chain and take pictures.
I buy it.
So you hope in doing that maybe a kid says, wow, you know, maybe there's more, you know, maybe it's a good school. Maybe I like the weather. Maybe I like the team and the coaches. So I'm all for it.
Well, let's hope it doesn't work, and that
if you see it when you're down, and we're going to meet for the first time, looks like possibly next Friday night. If it comes out 3 or 4 times, it's over. I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to make it back to Tallahassee.
It's going to be a rough night for me already. It would be me just taking it on the chin anyhow. I'm only going because of love of school. And it's not like I think we're going to go win that game.
Anything can happen. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah, let's hope that anything happens on that night. Ohio State giving 3.5 to Penn State. Who do you like in the big game of the weekend?
Well, you know, most people look at the game last year and say, well, Ohio State struggled. At home, they only won 39-38. But if you looked at the game, they moved up and down the field. They outstatted Penn State 529 to 283. It was the -2 in turnover ratio. That's what did them in. So I just think that Penn State is not the same team as last year. The public's going to bet them. They're a home underdog. It's a whiteout. It's a night game. bottom line is they've got Trace McSorley and Miles Sanders. That's it. And Ohio State has maybe the Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback. They've got 2 running backs that will be playing in the NFL for a decade, 5 receivers that might be anything that Penn State has. Ohio State in a shootout, 42-35.
How many points is Nick Bosa worth? That's a tough one, right?
Maybe 3. Defensive players just...
That's a lot for a defensive player, though.
Yeah,
that's amazing, right?
And that's about as high as you can get.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the kind of difference maker he is. Mississippi State is giving now 8 to Florida. Florida, the benefactor, much like Miami was last night, of 6 turnovers in their win against Tennessee, 4 in the first half. Mississippi State got stoned by Kentucky, who played a great football game, and that kind of shocked me. This is a hard game to pick. Who do you like?
Well, I was shocked that Mississippi State just lost their composure. I mean, there's things that happened before the game, and they had a skirmish before the game, but to totally lose it and to allow Kentucky to intimidate them and get out of their game, big mistake. Now they got to come back home. They got to face an improving Florida team here. With David Reese at middle linebacker, Florida's a much better defense. So with him back from an injury, I think that will help them. And how big is it for Florida having Dan Mullen and his 2 coordinators going against their old team? These are guys, they coach these kids. They recruit them. They know every strength and weakness of probably 95% of the players that would be playing in this game here. So I think that's worth 6 or 7 points. Felipe Frank's playing a little bit better here. I have Mississippi State winning the game 28-25, but it wouldn't shock me if Florida wins this game outright.
Fun game. Virginia Tech reeling in a way we could have never imagined after choking away a game against Old Dominion in historic fashion, one of the great upsets in the history of college football. Old Dominion was not even a good version of Old Dominion, and that's saying something. Now Virginia Tech loses their quarterback to boot. Duke's given 5. Ordinarily, I would look at this kind of cockeyed, but I don't know. I like Duke here. Who do you like?
That's what I thought at first glance, but here's the problem for Virginia Tech. They just usually when you take over a program, it takes a couple of years. Well, the opposite happened. Justin Fuente in his first year, he has a great year. He goes 10-4, and then they have a few problems last year, a few bump in the roads. They go 9-4. They might have a losing record this year. We're seeing some of these kids that were towing the line or getting by. Now they're having problems. They had to release 2 players, their best 2 defensive backs, before the season. Now their best pass rusher, maybe one of the top 5 in the country. You saw this kid, Trevon Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, he's done for the year. They released him. Now they have Joshua Jackson. He's not going to be able to play in the game. And Duke is going to get back to possibly their starting quarterback, Daniel Jones. Even if he doesn't play, Quentin Harris is doing a nice job. Did you see who the backup is for Virginia Tech in this game?
No.
The starter?
No.
Ryan Willis. Do you remember that name?
Not really.
I didn't right away. And then I started thinking, I'm like, oh, this is the kid, and I realized that played at Kansas a couple years ago.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You thought that the North Carolina quarterback was bad.
And by the way, that's right. I remember he transferred in, and they were trying to say nice things about him, right?
Yeah. So after the game, he might look as bad as what we saw last night with the North Carolina quarterbacks here. Duke, little known fact here, they're doing it with defense, allowing just 20 points per game last year, 15 per game this year. Duke's going to stay unbeaten here, 31-24.
Florida State got a win last week.
Yep.
First couple of drives right down the field and touchdowns. Everybody around here was shocked. Now they go on the road to try to get their first ACC win of the year, gaining confidence, little baby steps at a time. Neither of these teams are very good in the ACC currently. Florida State favored by 6.5. Louisville scored all of 3 points against Virginia. I feel like if somebody scores first here, they're in the driver's seat because the other psyche is really shaken. Who do you like in this game?
I never thought you'd describe Florida State and offense in baby steps and be excited about saying that.
Baby steps, buddy. It's all we can take right now with this offensive line.
But they really were. I mean, you saw Francois. He passed for 352 yards. He seemed to regain some of his confidence here. The defense held their opponent last week to just 6 rushing yards against Northern Illinois. And the Louisville, they can't find a quarterback. I mean, they're going back and forth with Pass and Cunningham with no success. Their quarterbacks, in fact, this year, 3 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. So I just can't back Louisville. I'm seeing nothing positive on the offense or defense and getting almost no takeaways here. Florida State 27-17.
I'll take it. The Bucks and the Bears should be a great game, a fun game, an intriguing game. The Bears have a very, very good defense. They already did, but then John Gruden added to the overall scheme by allowing Khalil Mack to make his way to Chicago. Do the Bears get it done and cover the 3, or do the Bucks move to 3-1?
The Bears are going to be a good team, and they don't just have Khalil Mack. They got 5 guys now with him on the defense that are going to be difference makers. Roquan Smith, he's starting to emerge as his rookie season. Akeem Hicks, Leonard Floyd, Danny Trevelyan. These are guys that make plays. 14 sacks on the season after 3 games, 7 forced fumbles. They've held all 3 opponents under 100 rushing yards. And even the offense is doing their job. They've had the time of possession edge all 3 games, 33, 34, and 36 minutes. So the Bucks, they got some problems here in the defensive secondary. They'll play 3 rookies in this game. You can't do that and be successful, and they're traveling on the short week. Chicago's for real, 27-20.
Game of the week is UCF giving 13.5 to Pittsburgh. How can folks get it?
Just call me here at the office, 800-400-9741. We're going to find out if UCF rolls. A lot of people don't realize this. They've won 17 straight games. That's right, 7. If this was any other team, this would be the headline every week. Can they keep the streak alive? We're going to see if they roll to 18, or is this the game where, they're tested? So you want to get Central Florida and Pitt on me, 800-400-9741 for free. And how about this, Jeff? I don't release many big plays. This year so far, 140-unit selection. It was UAB plus the points. They won wire to wire. That was underdog shocker number 1. I have underdog shocker number 2. It's not a 40 or a 45-unit play. It is a 50-unit bomb. That's right. I'm going to text you the game right now.
Yes, please do.
It starts on Saturday. Feel free to tweet it out. I've got a game that no one's looking at. It's a game where teams get a lot of points. I think they're going to win the game outright. So if you've been waiting in the wings, you listen to the show, or, a lot of people work their own jobs. I spent 13 hours this week in the Coral Gables Library. Maybe I should tweet out a picture of me studying in the library. I think I have one. And to show people that's what it's all about. You have to watch games. You have to take that knowledge, take notes. I found something in week 1 that's going to make a difference in this game. So how about this? Normally you need to be a seasoned subscriber to get a game like this. We're already 9-1 on our 30 to 50 unit selections this year. You can purchase the game individually. You can get a 5-week package where you get every game through the end of October. If you use coupon code SAVE200, just $397. This game will not lose. Use that coupon code SAVE200. It's all available. ParamountSports.com.
Love it, Lee. Always a pleasure to talk to you, buddy. Have a great weekend.
You too. See you, Jeff.
Take care. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. And I wonder, you mouthed it to me through the glass there while we were talking. I think he may be on my game. It's my game, Lee. Could be, because he talked about the team getting points and he thinks they're going to win outright.
I've seen that game in several publications, so I wonder if there's consensus here. I mean, if he's willing to say it will not lose, my goodness, Lee. That is something.
Well, yeah, that's dangerous because it is gambling.
But it is a 50-unit play.
It's 50
That's a lot of units.
Yeah, that's a big play. Well, he's going to text it to me shortly. I'll share with you, sir. Yeah, that's how we'll roll. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Yo, this is your cup holder talking. You know me, the little round thing between your car seats. Now, listen, we need to talk. Now, I normally have a nice cold bottle of Mountain Dew in me, but at the moment, I'm empty. That's right, no Mountain Dew. Nothing in here but a couple of quarters and a dime. Those 60 cents have been freeloading a ride in me for weeks now. I really don't want to be seen like this. A fully capable cup holder like me just carrying your loose change, it's embarrassing. It's beneath me. Look, I'm not made for loose change. I'm round like a bottle of Mountain Dew. glistening, cold, and delicious. I'm made to keep Mountain Dew within reach at all times, so you're never far from that incredible bold citrus kick whenever you need it. Just inches from your hand, all snug and secure where it won't tip over or roll under your seat or get hot in the sun. So find a store already, grab some Dew, toss it back, then place that bottle where it belongs, and put that loose change back in your pocket. That's what pockets are for. Mountain Dew. Do the Dew.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, and it's time to roll out the 2018s to make room for the 2019s. So if you've been waiting for a model year-end deal, then come to Kraft Nissan today while the selection is good. We call it Pick 6 Savings, as in all 2018 Rogues, Altimas, Pathfinders, and Muranos are $6,000 off. So pick a Rogue, pick an Altima, pick a Pathfinder, or pick a Murano, and take $6,000 off, and that's what you pay. From S model to Platinum models, all models $6,000 off, and only at Kraft Nissan. And all Titan and Titan XD full-size pickup trucks are $10,000 off. Regular cab, extended cab, crew cab, gas or diesel, all 2018 Titans are $10,000 off. And we will give you $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. That's $10,000 off all Titans and $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade, or a total of $12,000 in discounts on every Titan we sell at Kraft Nissan. But you better hurry. Pick 6 Savings end Monday. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
So here's something you might have experienced. I used to post to job boards, only to spend countless hours
sorting through way too many resumes,
just to find a few qualified candidates for
my tech sales teams,
the trucking business I hire for,
my hair salons.
That old process was definitely not smart.
Then I went to ZipRecruiter. They figured out hiring.
ZipRecruiter did the work for me. Their powerful matching technology scanned thousands of resumes
to find people with the right skills, education, and experience for my job,
and actively invited them to apply.
So I got qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try ZipRecruiter now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
The All-Team All-American Tailgate Party is coming to 4 Points Hotel in Tallahassee Saturday morning, 8:30 to 11:30, September 29. Hello, I'm Brian Cerny, host of Tallahassee Talks. Join me for prizes, giveaways, and a fantastic buffet as we broadcast our entire show from the Bronze Ballroom, including an earlier recorded conversation with legendary coach Bobby Bowden. $5 at the door benefits the North Florida Red Cross. Find out more at TallahasseeTalks.com. Brought to you by Tasty Pastry Bakery. Is there anything more Tallahassee than Tasty Pastry Bakery? More fresh, more original, more "this is why I love this town" kind of delicious? I don't think so. They've been in business since 1963, working through the night to be ready the next morning with muffins, coffee cakes, bread and pastries, and my personal favorite, fresh-made bagels and Lucky Goat coffee. There's a tasty pastry just waiting for you in the Market District on Market Street, 6:45 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. They're online at tastypastrybakery.com or call them at 893-3752.
Did you know carbon monoxide is odorless and invisible? Help ensure your family is protected from the dangers of carbon monoxide. CO alarms should be installed on every level and in every bedroom. And remember, alarms don't last forever, and it's important to replace them every 5 to 10 years. First Alert has been protecting homes and families since 1958 and encourages you to learn more about whole home safety at firstalert.com and visit Lowe's Home Improvement stores to purchase carbon monoxide alarms today.
You're locked in with the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. Happy Libations Friday. Hope you're well. This is going to be a short segment because we get an opportunity here in mere moments to talk to the man. Not that Lee Sterling wasn't the man. He's always a pleasure to talk to.
Those 50 units come through.
He'll be the man big time then. But, yeah, you know, I'm always excited. Usually, you pointed this out to me earlier, that normally we talk to Coach Hamilton a little bit later. We're getting him early this year. The timetable is kind of accelerated because obviously the University of Florida game, and also the season they had. You know, and they returned so much talent, and they go to the Elite Eight a year ago. So Leonard Hamilton is going to join us here in a couple of minutes, and we'll we always talk to him for a good long while, and I look forward to that. So I think Coach Ham has got to be in good spirits. Back-to-back tournament appearances, an Elite Eight run, and a lot of that same talent coming back, guys getting in shape. I know I'll ask him about it, but there's some talk out there about the fact that guys like Raekwon Gray have dropped a ton of weight. I know people are going to roll their eyes, but Kumaji has apparently gained a bunch of muscle for him. So
maybe that's true.
Well, remember, he got here. He was he's 7 feet plus tall and he's 200 pounds. And even when he got up to 220, they're like, oh, he's up to 220. And you thought I weigh 220. He's literally a foot taller than me. That you got to be bigger than that, right?
Just a little bit.
So we'll see. I don't know what that would look like on him, even still.
So do you think that after tomorrow's game, 3:30, do we need to have some beers, or are we celebrating? Are we toasting, or are we drowning our sorrows?
Oh, we're toasting. Let's do it up. And that reminds me, given that this is a shortened segment, Beer Fest tickets to give away right now. October the 13th is the event. And that's the bye week, so you've got nothing to fall back on or worry about. Go have fun at Beer Fest. Here are a pair of tickets. 523-3776, caller 2, pair of tickets, Beer Fest. Leonard Hamilton joins us next on the Jeff Cameron Show.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Smoother, bolder, sharper, comfier, smarter, fiercer, tougher, stronger, longer, greater, prouder. Gravely zero-turn mowers.
Call it Pick Six Savings, as in all 2018 Rogues, Altimas, Pathfinders, and Muranos are $6,000 off. So pick a Rogue, pick an Altima, pick a Pathfinder, or pick a Murano, and take $6,000 off, and that's what you pay. From S model to Platinum models, all models $6,000 off, and only at Kraft Nissan. And all Titan and Titan XD full-size pickup trucks are $10,000 off. Regular cab, extended cab, crew cab, gas or diesel, all 2018 Titans are $10,000 off, and we will give you $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. That's $10,000 off all Titans and $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade, or a total of $12,000 in discounts on every Titan we sell at Kraft Nissan. But you better hurry. Pick Six Savings end Monday. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco.
Tap into your inner eagle and spread your wings with Yuengling Traditional Lager. A bold amber color, near 200 years in the making, all-American brew. So plug in, rock out, and let the night take flight. Yuengling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. Spread my wings, let it ride. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina. And presented by Hobbit American Grill and Mike's Marine Supply.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachian Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Always love it when the season gets started, the practices begin, and we have the conversation we're about to have with the head man at Florida State. He's Leonard Hamilton, 17 seasons. I interviewed you, Coach, the day you got the job. So I'm old. You're older. That makes me feel better. But you've been great. And last year we're coming off a run to the Elite Eight, that close to going to the Final Four, and you get a ton of guys back. You got to be excited for practice to start.
Well, there's no doubt that we are excited. You know, we're grounded. We have a veteran team. We have a veteran staff. We're keeping things in perspective. You know, we made a run at the end of the season. I'm excited about us being our potential. We got everybody healthy toward the end of the season. Things kind of came together. We defended a lot better. We realize where we are. We still have some goals that we're trying to accomplish. We haven't quite gotten there yet, so we're excited about coming back and seeing whether or not we can take a step that's a little farther in the right direction.
I'll get to personnel in a second, Coach. I know you probably don't care at all about preseason rankings. I know we are ranked this year across the board, no matter where you look in these preseason polls. Florida State is a top 25 team. These are things that fans talk about and that media talk about. I know that's what you're going to say, but what does it mean? Does it mean anything to you guys in that locker room? Does it mean anything to you as a coach in terms of how you govern expectations and or practices and all that other stuff?
No, to be honest with you, and I really feel that we've built a culture of that's based on a realistic approach. We were not overly concerned the fact that we were not in the preseason rank in the top 25 at the beginning of last year. We're not overly excited the fact that we are in the preseason rank this year because it doesn't really matter. It's preseason. And the good thing about college basketball, you have an opportunity to earn your rightful place. We realized that we were not a well-oiled machine last year at times. We're focusing on those areas that we can control. That's being a little bit better than we were last year, trying to take some of those shortcomings away that we endured during the season. And we're grounded. We are focused. And I think we have everything in proper perspective. It's good to be in the top 25. It's good for the fans. It does get you some recognition on a national basis. But at the end of the day, doesn't really doesn't mean anything. When they throw that ball up on November the 6th, I'm not real sure Florida's going to say, wow, they're in the top 25, so maybe we might not need to play no more than 60%. That's not happening. When they throw that ball up, it's going to be war, and we got to be prepared mentally and emotionally.
Well, you talk about creating a culture, Coach. Obviously, your career here at Florida State, well documented. You within the ACC, you're top 10 in winning percentage. The home record here, by the way, is the best in the country the last 2 years. I don't know that everybody recognizes some of these hallmarks. I mean, we're 31-2. Duke is 30-2. Carolina's 28-3. We're talking about the blue bloods of college basketball, and Florida State has a better record. What do you attribute that to?
I think there's been a combination of a lot of things. I think, number one, the athletic department and the university has given us support that I think has allowed us to keep our program moving forward, and we're so grateful. We have a beautiful arena. The university has given us the support financially to go out and recruit. And I also think that the upgrade of our facility has allowed it creates a different atmosphere. The lights, the seats, the scoreboard, it's the improvement of the locker room. Those things play a part. And then I think that we've been able to early on in our stay here at Florida State, we had to play a system in relation to the players, the talent that we had. Now what we're doing, we have a system, and we're recruiting to our system, and we have players that are skilled enough to play the fast pace that we play, to be extremely aggressive on the defensive end, as we would like. And then I think the fan support that people have given us as a result of them, that our style of ball appealing to them, success that our kids having. And I think our players have represented the Tallahassee, the Florida State, Seminole family properly. We've only had a couple of kids not graduate in 17 years. Our kids are focused. They are integrated into the Seminole community and the Tallahassee community. And I think the culture is growing and getting better. And I think what has happened is people are latching on and helping us with the atmosphere during those moments when we need a little extra boost. Our fans are the sixth man in the stand. They're raising their head, and we're giving our opponents a taste of the same medicine that we get when we go on the road.
Yeah, it's actually happened, Coach. I mean, for years I would plead with my audience and fellow Noles everywhere to get out and support this basketball team. You're right, though. Stylistically, things have changed. The skill level and basketball IQ and the fun you have watching this team play basketball, and the wins. Of course, the wins. If you win games, people come and they're starting to do that. You return. Let's talk about your players. You just mentioned it. You return a ton of guys, a ton of talent. I know at the end of last year, Terrence Mann was hurt. And he was a guy that played through it. I didn't realize to the extent that he was hurt. How's he doing after this offseason coming into this year? Is he back to full health?
Well, it looks like he's 100%. He had an unusual type of core injury to his groin area, and he went to the specialist in Philadelphia and the top doctors in the country dealing with those unusual core issues, and he's had a tremendous response. We've had a lot of little knickknacks we've tried to improve on over the summer. Chris Kamaji and Anthony Polite had to have some procedures done on their patella tendons. They're not 100% yet. They're going through non-contact type stuff. We hope that we have them back 100% before too long. Obviously Trent Forrest and P.J. Savoy both had bone bruises that they had to overcome. Look like they're back. So I think we're about as healthy as we can be. Right now, we're just trying to fine-tune our system, trying to just correct some of those shortcomings we had last year, and we're anxious to get started. Let's see whether or not we can go out and represent the Seminole Nation like we want to.
What does it mean for you to have this much returning talent back, though? All that experience, whether it's Phil, whether it's Mann, whether it's Trent Forrest, whether it's P.J. Savoy or Kumaji or all these guys, it's got to make your job a lot easier. Certainly they know what you want.
Well, I think our staff needs a lot of credit. My assistant, Coach Jones and Coach Young and Coach Gates, guys who have done a very good job developing the players that we have on our team. Coach Bradley does a great job in the weight room, and I think we're going to see some guys big and strong. Chris Kamaji is now up to about 270 pounds. He came here weighing 212. I think that you're going to see improved perimeter shooting with Terrence Mann and Trent Forrest. Those guys have improved tremendously. Last year we shot, 35% for three-point range. I thought that was a problem for us. We like to put that up to around 38, 39. Phil Kofer didn't take a three at all as a freshman in college, but you say he shot 39, 38% from three-point range this year, which I think shows the skill development that our coaches are doing with our players. We shot only 69% from the free throw line last year. I think we'll be much improved on that this year. So I think the little things like that are coming together with the support the school has given us, the good job my assistant coaches are doing, the support that we're getting from the fans and the student body. It's all coming together. Now, what we have to do is not do anything other than concern ourselves with those things we can control. That's coming back and making sure that we be a little bit better today than we were yesterday. Keep taking that one step at a time. Keep the philosophy of winning games by committee. We play a lot of people. I mean, we'll play 10, 11 guys in the first 10 minutes of a basketball game, which is kind of unconventional for a lot of people. We just feel that that's the way we have to play in order for us to be successful. Our kids have bought into being of the unselfish spirit, and I think it's working for us. But now, one thing about it in basketball, you got to go out and prove it. What they say, talk is cheap. We got to go out and get it done.
Well, you did last year, especially late, as you just noted, and that was back-to-back years into the NCAA tournament, a hell of a run into the Elite Eight. Hey, Coach, you were talking about physical conditioning and how much bigger and stronger everybody is. I hear Raekwon Gray dropped like 40, 50 pounds. Talk about that young man. I know people are excited about his game. And then also, since I'm talking to you about him, talk to me about the Nichols kid that came in with C.J. leaving, just some new faces and some things, some guys maybe we're not used to talking about.
Well, Raekwon Gray has not lost 50. He has lost about 30.
Okay.
And we got about 25 more to go.
Is he in the sand pits, Coach? You got him out there in the sand pits?
No. Raekwon is doing a tremendous job. He's making tremendous sacrifice. And it's not easy, to change your body shape. That's an American issue, that's a health issue that's going around our country. But he's working his family off, and I'm very pleased with the progress he's making. David Nichols is a welcome addition to our team, a young man who graduated from University of Albany with a 3.9 grade point average in 3 years. He's in graduate school. He's probably going to get his graduate degree within 1 year. This says a little bit about the intellectual level that he brings to our team. He's a seasoned veteran. He started 3 years at the point guard for Albany. He's fearless. He's tough. He's smart. He's heady. He's a very good shooter. He brings a tremendous amount of leadership to our team, and we really, really are glad to have him a part of our squad.
Final two things, Coach. Who replaces a high-energy guy like Angola?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. We replacing his energy with a community of players. He gave us something that was very consistent with his effort and his length. We're looking for a whole bunch of guys to fill that void by committee. Obviously, you got people like P.J. Savoy. You got who obviously maybe doesn't have quite the quickness that Brodus had, but he's really developed sound fundamentals. You're talking about M.J. Walker, a guy who definitely has the athleticism and the quickness and speed to give us that. Anthony Polite. Obviously, Trent Forrest and Nichols can be our pickup guys, but I think we have a number of guys who are going to have to step in and fill that role because we definitely going to miss it.
Yeah, Coach, and I know you're excited, obviously, about the Garnet and Gold scrimmage. That's October the 14th, and I know we're all excited to get a good look at this team and see this veteran bunch get after it. I'm also excited to find out before I say goodbye for the first time this year, and we'll have you back on, of course, as we always do. How's Seven Oceans doing?
Five Oceans.
Five Oceans. I thought it was 7. All right. Okay.
Well, to tell you the truth, we're in the planning stages of making a big push. I really love gospel music, but I want to branch out a little bit more and hopefully add some different genres to our label. Right now, we're in an organizational position where we really want to do some positive things. I think we have a couple of albums that we have completed. We're working on some other things. So maybe what you need to do is come by. Okay. Let's have a listening party. Right. You told me you were going to come out to our house. And we were going to sit down and we're going to look at some from my collection of old school DVD concerts. Now, the invitation is open. Now, I'm not going to keep it open much longer. You got to come on out. You're going to have to come on out now.
Hey, so how am I supposed to get out there to do this when you're practicing and trying to prepare for another NCAA tournament run and 20-plus win season and all that? I mean, let's sit down and watch some Sam Cooke. You know I'm a Sam Cooke guy.
Hey, let's do this. Let me put it to you this way. I'm available 24 hours a day, and if I'm asleep, wake me.
I'm going to take you up on it, and we're going to watch these videos because I know you have a collection to beat the band. I want to see it. And we're both music guys.
You got to come by practice anytime now. We practice a day at 2:30. You ought to come on by.
I'm on the air at 3, Coach. I got to entertain the masses. What do you want me to do?
Well, what you need to do is come on over and do your show.
Okay.
For marketing.
All right, we're going to do that next week then. Can we do that next week?
Right. All right, you're welcome.
All right. Hey, it's always a pleasure, Coach. Be well.
All right, buddy.
All right, take care. That's Coach Leonard Hamilton. And I have not taken him up on the offer to go sit and watch music, and I've blown it. Because now the season started, and I know the invitation's open, but I don't think he means it. I don't think he wants me to just knock it on. Hey, Coach, it's Jeff. Let's go listen to some music.
Well, maybe after the Florida. we have a couple of exhibition games, right? Gates can handle that, can he?
I will. So you know what he's done? He's collected. It's hilarious. Coach Hamilton has collected, hundreds of hours of old video footage and concerts, live events, and things like that, both video and just music. And, you've been on the other end to hear our off-the-air conversations over the years where we've talked music.
He loves the video. He loves that part of it so he can see the concert. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves that. But he's got some stuff that, bootlegged, illegal as hell, I'm sure. But, you got to, we all – listen, when you're trying to collect music and you're a collector of any kinds, whatever happens.
Any royalties now, 50 years later, 60 years in some cases?
Guy's dead. What are you going to do? So I do need to take him up on that. And
at some point, fair use comes in, right?
I think he got mad at me. I think he's legit like, hey, I've invited you. You just have never come by. I didn't think he was going to throw that back at me.
Well, now you know what you need to do.
I like this team. And it's funny when he goes through, and we'll come back and talk about it for a second, but, when he goes through and starts naming the players that are going to replace Angola's energy, and I wanted to ask him about that because Angola always brought that, no matter if his shot was there. And length is right, too, with the defense. I thought that'd be a tough thing to replace, and so you can tell he's concerned about it because he's talking about a committee having to do it. But when he went through the players, it just, you're reminding yourself, oh, yeah, MJ Walker's young and good. And, he got tired at the end of last year, but he's going to be a real player. And then you think about Trent Forrest, and if he gets any better with his jump shot, how much better he'll be as an offensive weapon. He's already great defensively.
He's all ACC first team if he ever has a jump shot because he's so good at everything else. But what Rodas brought to the table, as he calls him now, he dropped Angola Rodas.
It's just Rodas.
Because remember in the postseason he was called Rodass on the broadcast the entire time. But now it's back to Rodas. He was so great in tight spaces, knifing through the paint area and distributing the basketball. He understood spacing so well. He was able to, penetrate and distribute. And I just don't know who that guy's going to be. Forrest can do that some, but you need somebody else that you can work off of in the offense too. Maybe MJ Walker is that player, but I don't know what he is yet. I know he's good and raw, but I don't know what kind of player he's going to be in our system yet.
Yeah, when you return 3 of your 5 starters, 7 of your 9 leading scorers, 76% of your rebounds, 75% of your scoring, Terrence Mann has been here for 25 years. By the way, he needs to play in 34 games, and he'll be Florida State's all-time leader in games played.
That's doable.
And then in addition to that, we think about what Ham's done, 12 NBA draft picks since 2004. That's how he's been able to continue to recruit well, is that he's been able to show, hey, this is the program that can get you to the league. And I mentioned it before, but it's worth noting. It is. We can't take it for granted because it's not a guarantee around here. 31-2 at home is the nation's best record. That's crazy.
I get it's September, so maybe we caught him right at the beginning. Typically, you talk to Coach around mid-October, late October, but since you have a game with Florida first week in November this year, I think everything kind of starts a little earlier.
Accelerated, yeah.
He's usually slow playing. He sounds as amped up and passionate about this group as he sounded about any in a long time, about the motivation and the focus and where it needs to be. Typically, he's kind of in a fact-finding mission. He says, well, we have more skill this year, but there's a lot of things that we need to work out. We're nowhere close to where we need to be.
Right.
This interview this time was all about mindset, and you could tell he is locked the hell in on making sure these guys don't take anything for granted.
I just love he doesn't care. I think he's legitimately telling the truth when he says things like, I didn't care that we weren't ranked last year. Before the season, and I don't care that we are this year. I think he gets that, look, here's the deal. We got to go earn it, and they do. But they losing Ikert, there's no getting around that. I mean, we're going to be fine without CJ, but losing Ike it's just unfortunate. It's damn unfortunate because they didn't do anything wrong. But you had a handler, and you had a situation.
It's just incredible how fundamentally it changed how teams approached us, and that's what sucks.
Kumaji's 270 pounds. I bet that's the skinniest
Is he?
270 pounds you've ever seen.
If he is, then we're in business. If
That's
he's
what he
270.
said. That's what he said. He's 270. I mean, again, that won't look that big on a guy that tall, but
he looked like he was 230, 240.
Yeah, no, he was tiny. Interesting that he mentioned Anthony Polite quite a bit. Brought him up more than once. And he doesn't usually do that. We'll see what David Nichols is, too. But, anyhow, good talking to Coach Hamilton, and I got to get out there and do the music. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
TalkSy.com. Brought to you by Truck and Car Concepts.
Hey folks, welcome back to Truck and Car Concepts. It is tailgate season. It's time to secure your tailgate items. We can do that with the tonneau covers. We do alarm systems, both in the bed and the vehicle itself. And we also do camper shells or toppers. Not only that, let's dress your truck up. We got Nerf bars, we do window tinting, car stereos. Bringing out the tailgate pong. Everybody loves to play tailgate pong. Come on down to Truck and Car Concepts and get yourself ready for tailgating. 656-8800.
Wahoo Seafood Grill, Tallahassee's leader in fresh seafood, is located right behind the Best Western on North Monroe. Lunch specials start at $7.99. Be sure to try their award-winning house-made burger. Big lunch parties are also welcome. Wahoo Seafood Grill makes lunch specials a very affordable choice. Delivery is available and plenty of parking. Wahoo Seafood Grill, easy access from any part of town using I-10. Visit them online at wahooseafoodgrill.com or call them today at 850-629-4059.
The legends have returned. The Legends of Hip Hop, starring Juvenile. With Too Short. Plus DJ Quick. With special guest Trick Daddy. Along with the legendary Scarface. When your mind's playing tricks on you. And 8-Ball and MJG. Tickets available at the box office. Online at TuckerCivicCenter.com. Or by phone at 850-645-0747. The Legends of Hip Hop. Homecoming weekend. October 5th. Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. With Scarface. Plus Juvenile, 8-Ball and MJG, Too Short, DJ Quick, and Trick Daddy, the Legends of Hip Hop. Homecoming weekend, October 5th at Donald L. Tucker Civic Center.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello, happy Libations Friday. Speaking of which, well, kind of start mapping it out, figuring out what you're watching. I know something Tom and I are definitely watching. And for that matter, go ahead and cue it up, and we'll get to the segment. Yeah.
Jeff, what's your plan with all of this laundry?
Not my job.
Excuse me, get off the couch already.
Wash Around the Clock's got it. More watching, less washing.
Ooh. Best husband ever.
Wash Around the Clock. Go to TallahasseeLaundry.com. That's right. If you do that, you'll see all about the Easy Laundry pickup and delivery service that both Tom and myself utilize, and so do hundreds, if not thousands, in this city in order to save time. Laundry, dry cleaning, pressing, whatever you want. It's the ultimate form of convenience. Time is money, and this is saving you all kinds of time to do the things you want to do or to get more work done. So go check them out. Wash Around the Clock. Good times. The slate, sir, it all starts with the Ryder Cup for us. A disappointing second half of the day, which we kind of could sense was coming. Even up 3-1. You mentioned it in text. I thought the same thing watching it, that they were beginning to bleed.
Well, when I saw the pairings, I was like, well, this is stupid. Yeah, you're just asking to give away the lead you got. And so we did. And then some.
You know, it's hard. Do you tell Phil you're not playing this?
Yes.
I mean, well, now you do, but I mean, I think you could have done it before.
Yes. Yes. We talked about this before it even started. If there's one format you don't play him, it's freaking alternate shot.
Well, and he just was in terrible form coming in. There was just talk that you didn't need to play him, period.
He nearly went in the drink on 1, and he did on 3, hitting iron to a par 5.
Hitting iron into a par 5. That is unbelievable. This is that look on Tiger Woods' face when they played together. Mm-hmm. Remember that? Thank you. What?
Yeah, what is this?
Yeah, so that's a toughie.
You want to play in Vegas right now for the 10 mil?
That's a toughie. But so we'll be watching Ryder Cup in the morning, on into football. The big noon game, I think, is West Virginia, Texas Tech, right? I love that game.
Indeed it is.
That's an intriguing Big 12 game. I didn't think I'd ever say it. If it wasn't Oklahoma, Texas, I never thought I'd say an intriguing Big 12 game is out there, folks, and it is.
Yeah, that game is on ESPN2 tomorrow, noon.
3:30 us, late night, I guess, Notre Dame, Stanford, and/or...
Yeah, you got a sneaky good evening slate, and it's not, there are a couple of headliners, but you've got some options. 6 o'clock, Florida, Mississippi State. That's an interesting game in Starkville.
I'll have a beverage and watch.
7 o'clock, Virginia Tech, Duke is an interesting game. If you
if
you're an observer of some kind.
Yeah.
And then at 7:30, you've got a pair of games, Ohio State, Penn State. That's on ABC. Stanford at Notre Dame. That's on NBC. And if you need a couple other things to flip to, Kentucky, South Carolina at 7:30.
I like
interesting game.
Yep.
And BYU, Washington, just to kind of figure out.
Washington's going to stomp BYU.
You think so?
Yeah. BYU can't score on Washington.
17.5 is the number.
Ooh, no.
Okay.
No.
The hook is a little too much?
The hook is too much. 16.5, 17, do it. 17.5, no, sir.
Oregon, Cal at 10:30.
I like that game because I love Pac-12 after dark, buddy. Woo!
Yeah.
Time to pop that Cigar City.
I was on Oregon for this game. I hope they're not losing to Stanford twice. That's my concern.
It is a concern. I don't like the slate this weekend for that kind of thing, my man. I'm laying in the weeds here. I don't like it. There's some weird teams licking their wounds and stuff going on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Catching teams at the wrong
time. Look ahead stuff going on. Just weird guys being out in critical matchups. And no, man. We're going to lay low this weekend. Big Daddy's just chilling out this weekend, enjoying the games. Final hour, forthcoming. Stay with.
Have you ever noticed when you report an accident or a claim to an insurance company, they are very eager to get you to one of their approved body shops. They say that they guarantee the shops work, but what they're really saying is the shop works for them, not the customer. So choose a shop that is working for and looking out for you, someone you trust. It's your choice. Lisa's Paint and Body.
License number MP46050.
I used to post to job boards.
Only to sort through tons of resumes.
Just to find a few candidates for
my sales team.
My hair salons.
That old process was not smart.
Then I went to ZipRecruiter.
Its technology scans resumes for me to find the right people
and actively invites them to apply.
So I get qualified candidates fast. Smart.
See why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. Try it now for free at ZipRecruiter.com/find. That's ZipRecruiter.com/find. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Based on Trustpilot rating of hiring sites with over 1,000 reviews.
Games for Less, the only locally owned and operated gaming store in town, has Tallahassee's largest selection of new and used video games and game systems. The future of video gaming at Games for Less, where they have both the PS4 and Xbox One. It's time to trade in your old systems and elevate your gaming experience now. Games for Less is also your headquarters for the best in retro gaming. Atari 2600, original Nintendo, Super NES, or Sega Genesis, you name it. They got it at Games for Less. Games for Less, the Super Walmart Shopping Center on Appalachia Parkway. Give them a call today at 850-219-3535. That's Games for Less.
Hello, radio friends. I'm here to tell you about Barbaritas. Our mission statement is farm fresh, so let's explain. We serve char-grilled, grass-fed beef, hormone-free chicken breasts, and grilled tofu for starters. Farm fresh means fresh avocados used to make guacamole, and tomatoes from the vine to craft fresh pico de gallo. Farm fresh means award-winning burritos, salads, and tacos customized for you. So come visit your local Barbaritas today and literally see for yourself. Barbaritas, we roll farm fresh.
Barbaritos, we make it fresh, you make it yours.
Looking for a new place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill with 3 locations to choose from. Just show them your stub. That's right, your ticket stub from any local sporting event for $1 pints and $3 crafts. BOGO Mondays every Monday with 50% off specials. Like or follow on Facebook to get all the details. PS4 tourneys, trivia, karaoke, darts, and more. Lots of daily lunch specials under $8. Happy hour specials daily and happy hour all day on Friday. The Hobbit American Grill.
Driving every day from the AmeriGas studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute, brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
Braves in the midst of their final road trip of the year. They took on the Mets from Citi Field last night. It was Julio Teheran versus Jason Vargas. And once again, Mets pitching hypnotized the Braves bats. Braves with just 1 run on 6 base hits last night, and their lone run didn't come into the 8th inning of the ball game. By then, the Mets already had a 4-0 lead. They had a solo home run by Kevin Plawecki in the 3rd inning to go up 1-0. And then this long ball from the bat of Devin Mesoraco to make it 4-0.
Brock deals. High fly deep to left. Going back is Duvall, looking up and watching it go. 3-run home run for Mesoraco.
So again, that made it 4-0 on the pinch hit homer by Devin Mesoraco. Braves scored 1 run on a Ronald Acuna single in the 8th inning to make it 4-1, and that's as close as they would get. So the Braves are now 89-70 going into the final 3 games of the year. They start up that series tonight versus the Phillies, 7:05 Eastern, 6:05 Central with the first pitch. Mike Fulton-Evans gets the ball for the Braves, and he takes on fellow right-hander Jared Eichhoff. I'm Ben Ingram. This has been your Atlanta Braves Radio Network update.
Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for this week. Libations Friday, loosey-goosey edition of the program. Thanks so much for tuning to it. I'm Jeff, that's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. If you miss anything, go back to that website and or iTunes. We'll post all 3 hours of the program there. Man, I think I told you about this thing. You can't look up anything online anymore if you don't want to be targeted by advertising agencies. Like if you like shoes, I mean, they know they got you. If you like hats or anything, they got you, right?
Oh, I've been eyeing a Buccaneers hat that
They just keep doing it, don't they?
Yeah, Dirkle's been wearing it, but it looks so good that I think I need to have it.
You think you want to have it?
And it's everywhere
Which
now.
one is it?
It's between two. It's either the white, they're the fitted ones.
Yeah.
But they're the regular curved brim.
Yeah.
With the pewterish flag with the red outline.
I like it.
Or the red one with the pewter flag.
Ooh, I'll get whichever one you don't.
They could both be yours, Jeff.
For
nearly
the low
$38
price.
a piece.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
No, they get me with watches. I like watches. Now, it's silly. I have this Apple Watch, right? But I don't always wear it because this is the watch that, is whatever. It's, it's like more of like an exercise watch. I also don't like feeling like I'm so connected all the time. So, but I like classy watches, nice watches. But I know I don't need 20 watches, but I would buy 20 watches. I would.
Really?
Yeah.
So you'd be the guy with like, if you got a walk-in closet, you just have.
I'd have some watches. Yeah.
Display.
If I were rich, like really rich. Yeah, that might be the one thing where you'd be like, well, that's just gluttonous, Cameron. That's ridiculous. You seem pretty level-headed about everything else. Why do you have 7 Rolexes?
Let me have my watches,
just let me have the watches, please.
Right.
I do the right thing with the rest of the money. I like these watches. I do. I like watches. But the internet knows I like watches.
You should wear a pocket watch no matter what clothes you have on. Like, so even if it's athletic shorts.
My lightning shirt today.
Yeah, just have a pocket watch.
Oh, that would be good. But yeah, every time I open the computer now, or if I switch websites, like during the break before we start this hour, I'm deciding to look up a couple different things. But I opened a new tab, and the first ad on the left side is this beautiful Rolex, like lowered price. I'm like, come on, guys, you just know I'm a weak man.
Refurbished.
You're like, well, that was a $12,000 watch coming in at $6,000, huh? And what are you doing, Cameron? That's ridiculous. Yeah, let's move on. All right, so we did stuff to help the offensive line this past game, and that got us by in those first couple of drives. I feel like this game tomorrow, the opening couple drives are going to be a big deal again, both for them and for us. When you're dealing with fragile psyches, that can be at play here. Can you get off to a good start on the road against a team that I really feel like wants to lay down? But you let them hang around. You let them believe. Same thing. They go the other way. They go down. You start to see the demons yet again, right? You start wondering if you're good enough because, after all you've done this year in your victories is beat Samford barely and Northern Illinois. And you didn't exactly run away with it against Northern Illinois. This was a game in the second half. So you haven't won a game against a real team, quote unquote. You go out there and start losing to Louisville, and I wonder what you're kicking around in your mind.
Well, we're 126th in turnover margin, and I don't bring that up to say that we need turnovers like a random person says, we need an interception here.
Right.
There's luck that plays a factor in there, but we're not doing what we need to do to finish plays both on offense and defense with ball security, taking it away and protecting it. And if the margin is going to be quite thin, you're on the road against a team with a fragile psyche. What can change your confidence level in a heartbeat? It's a turnover.
Well,
it's a splash play.
You watched the game last night at all?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's more of a game in the first half than the score would indicate.
Even at 24-14, it's a game.
Yeah.
Listen, that North Carolina was doing what they wanted to do. Especially on all those quarterback runs, those keepers, which, if you're paying attention, I mean, if DeAndre could run a little bit harder and faster, that'd be great because I think they're susceptible to it in the middle of the field. But anyhow, North Carolina's doing whatever they want last night. I know that game gets lopsided because they turn it over 6 times. And they don't just turn it over. It's like those live ball turnovers in basketball.
Yep.
I mean, they're not just fumbling the ball or throwing it to the other team. They're touchdowns. I mean, sweet Jesus, you just throw it to that same defensive end 15 times in a row.
We could have easily turned the ball over 6 or 7 times last week. We turned it over 4. We didn't get one back, and we won the football game. You can't do that this week. So if you're looking for little things that can flip how you feel about yourself on offense or defense in a game, these are the things that add up. Again, I'm not trying to predict turnovers, but I'm saying that we've got to be detail sound. A 5-yard penalty, if it's a delay a game or a false start or 12 men on the field, I hate that, especially if it's in a critical situation, but it's not as bad as a turnover. So let's see how many details we can stack up because we played detail poor last time we were on the road in the ACC at Syracuse.
It's funny where Hinshaw was talking about on that Hinshaw thing on warchant.com. You're talking about fighting for extra yards, and a lot of times that's when you see the fumble. We all know that. If you've watched football, you played football, you've paid attention to football in any way, shape, or form, you always see that guy fighting, and somebody comes up from the side and smacks it out, whatever it is. And it's hard because at its core, football is a game of toughness, and you want guys to fight for extra yards. There's nothing that is more invigorating and uplifting for a team than to watch a guy drag 5 players across that line needed to gain for a first down, refusing to go down, pushing guys off of them, fighting, because it's a game about fighting. And so I think it's hard for football players because I've heard it a lot this week. Well, guys just got to understand when the play is over. You got to live to fight another day. Well, I don't think it works that way. I get it. You just got to be mindful that when you're fighting for yards that they're coming, and they're coming for the ball because you're being stood up. They're coming to slap and to kick and to punch, and you got to know that. So fight if you will, and you need to. It is football, but just know what's coming.
Well, and it clearly shook up Trey McKitty last week.
Yeah.
In all phases of what he was doing. And that's an important player in our offense. So that's one person. You're circling looking for people, how they look out there right away. DeAndre Francois is the first one. Anytime the offensive line is the way it is for us right now, you look at the offensive line. Is everybody okay? Do we have composure today? Trey McKitty, you usually don't look at skill players, but for me, I'm looking at number 6 tomorrow. Mm-hmm. First chance he gets to catch a ball. How secure is it? Is it shaky? Is it something that looks routine for him? And then if he's in a position where he's going to be tackled, is he protecting the ball with both arms? Because he could have had an extra fumble in this game, but they ruled him down, or last week I should say, but they ruled him down for forward progress. So I'm looking for psyche tomorrow, and obviously all those little details, because these are 2 bad football teams. It really does reek of fewer mistakes wins the day.
Yeah, because I don't think either side has something they can hang their hat on offensively right now that they're sure is going to work, or that is something that can remain consistent in a football game. Right now we're trying to make fewer mistakes and get the quarterback hit less, which, again, in that situation, if you're playing that way, you're not attacking. You're playing not to get hurt, right? You're playing, and I don't mean physically. I mean you're playing not to be behind the chains. That's not the same as saying, oh, no, we got this. We can score at any time we want, which ideally when you're humming, that's the way you're thinking, is that, oh, if we don't score here, we'll score next drive. This is a lot about now keeping DeAndre from getting killed, moving forward, not having so many 3rd and longs. Give me 3rd and manageable. We'll see if we can convert. And maybe that leads to 21, 24 points. If we get anything more than that, you feel like you got a real good chance to win the game because your defense is playing pretty sound right now. They give up the big pass play here and there, but they're playing really well against the run, and Louisville's quarterbacks don't throw the ball real well. So, again, I think you're just minimizing mistakes, playing the field position game, playing to your defense. It's not fun football. It's not attacking football, but it beats the hell out of football that sees your quarterback get killed every other series.
On defense, I am scared you-know-what-less of coverage busts because sometimes they're so wide open that the quarterback could take all day, set his feet, set his arm, get his arm angle right, and then fire the ball down the field because we have made such a miscalculation or somebody doesn't know their assignment.
Right.
And for a home crowd, too. I mean, these Louisville fans, the ones that will attend this game, they just want to see something. They need a reason. They need an excuse. And let's not give them one with a coverage bust. On offense, one thing I would bank that we're going to see in the first half, maybe first couple of drives, we're going to see a quick screen to Tamorrion Terry, and hopefully we block it up in that situation. We had a few of those open this past weekend, and DeAndre took the throw to the other side of the field to Keith Gavin for a chunk gain, but there were numbers over there. So I would bet they're going to try and scheme him open just to get him some more touches too, because he's been such a multifaceted, player for us. He blocks well, and he's also a deep threat, and he's a red zone threat.
It's funny. I was looking at, the things that you and I have talked about over the last several weeks with this team and what frustrates us, and then I went to a Louisville site, and I went to look at their boards and to look at their fan base, the hardcore guys, the ones that really want to talk about what's wrong, because there's a lot wrong with Louisville right now. It doesn't feel good. They're not recruiting real well either. That's another thing to note. They're not recruiting well. So when you see some stuff behind the scenes, you begin to wonder exactly what's happening. Is Bobby Petrino just calling it a day?
Well, listen, man, if the well runs dry from transfers of other Power 5 schools or get dismissed or whatever, that's a problem, because that's where they got a lot of good players these last 5 years.
Without question. And what you find out when you go and you read those other sites and you look for what it is that's bothering Louisville, there are similar problems with what's bothering us, but they're different. The major difference I see is when I talk about these 2 schools and their psyche coming into this game and where they're at, is that there is real talk of Louisville players that have quit 4 games into a season. There is zero talk of Florida State players that have quit. That is a big difference between the two programs that aren't playing to where we thought they'd play to, right? Is that there are different levels of bad and confusion and problems. And, when you're identifying problems here, most of the time we're identifying personnel issues. We're talking about the offensive line. We're talking about linebacker play. We're talking about things like that. And then, the subsequent confusion of installing a new offense and a new defense. But those are things you kind of expect to have to work around. You're not expecting, with a guy that's been there for quite a long time now in Bobby Petrino, to have people questioning whether or not players are continuing to give effort. They seem to be in the midst of some of the stuff we were involved in last year with question marks about effort.
No, before the Boston College game, those question marks were in 72-point font.
Yes.
You could see, and we were right to have those question marks. Yeah, we're trying to build something here. And so, again, if you start well, then you put yourself on the path.
Yeah, that's the big thing, Tom. I'm really just get off to a good start. I don't know if we're good enough. What stinks about it is you say that, and I don't think that Louisville's just going to march down the field. In fact, I think I took the under. I don't see these two teams marching up and down the field very often, barring turnovers, as we've noted. So I think you got time. When I say get off to a quick start, I mean get off to a quicker start than them. It could be nothing at the end of the first. I'm just saying do better than them.
But you're winning field position.
Winning field position, setting it up so maybe you're up, 10-3 at half or something. Just give yourself a fighting chance, because I think, again, when you've got problems in a locker room and you've got questions about effort, the thing that sends those signals and has you spiraling out of control downward again is when the game begins to go south for you. And if Louisville looks up again, fresh off of scoring 3 points against Virginia, and they've got nothing going on offense and they're down a couple of scores, it gets real easy to fall back into that rut is all I'm saying.
Well, and then we have our wish list, too. For me, Trayshawn Harrison is on that wish list. Let's give him some more time. He looks like a dynamic player every time he touches the ball. And I feel like in rewatching the game from last week, Janarius Robinson is close to having a breakout game. Because you talk about Brian Burns, he's got one basic move, which is the speed rush.
Yeah, I'm gonna go fast off the line, and I got nothing else.
And I'm gonna hit him from the back plate, because I'm gonna run around the left tackle so fast. Janarius has power. He can drive a tackle back into the quarterback or back into the mesh point.
That's a good sign.
For what he wasn't able to do in camp, we were talking about what physical limitations is he going to have coming out of camp. He made a few plays last week, and I know they weren't TFLs or anything like that.
Right.
Where you look at the replay and you go, whoa, 11. This is something. We can work with this. We thought Wally Aim was going to be that player on the other side. Hasn't been. So who else do you turn to? And maybe Janarius Robinson could be somebody to make a play or two tomorrow.
Yeah, isn't that frustrating, too? You bring up Wally Aim, and there's just a laundry list of guys this year that have
you almost wish you could fatten him back up and put him down in the interior. Or maybe he could be some sort of third down pass rusher type from the interior the way we would flex DeMarcus Walker.
Yeah, and Janarius Robinson, by the way, you bring him up, that's 260-plus pounds. That's a bigger guy off the edge than Brian Burns.
He looks fresh, though, I guess is what I'm saying. He looks – we were wondering how – it's like Cam, watching Cam on the offensive side of the ball right now. He doesn't have that spark in his step, and maybe this week is the week, but it's just when you have an ankle problem or a foot or whatever it is, you can tell it's tougher for him to get up to fifth gear. I didn't know that Janarius would be in fifth gear in the month of September, but he has been. He's got all of his faculties about him, it looks like.
260, Kane Doe's 260-ish in there.
Yeah.
They're bringing something else to the table. Burns, again, is 230 pounds. And I know he's put on some weight, but he's still so light. And I'm just telling you, when you watch those games, I know you do, he's fast, that's fine. They get their hands on him. We're done talking here then. These are big dudes.
Well, we'll see what kind of runs they throw at us, quarterback runs or if they're running zone reads or whatever they're going to do. But
they've switched it up.
To get DeMarcus Christmas back this week, too. He was out last week in that rotation in the interior. Those guys played well. It was 6 rushing yards, but they looked good. It was
and Marvin continues to emerge as a potential star.
Marvin is somebody who should get, maybe next year, 4 to 6 sacks. He can really affect things.
He can affect things. He's a good player.
Durden looked good again. I don't know if that is just against lesser competition, so here's another chance for him against a Power 5 team. And then Robert Cooper got a lot of run in that first half. I didn't notice him as much in the second, but I might not have been looking.
I've been talking about how the big man's getting some
time. That's a big dude.
Oh, it's a mountainous man. You're not moving him in the 7 snaps he gets.
Yeah.
The key is to get to the kind of shape or be in the kind of shape where I can put you out there for 15. where you can make a real impact on the game because you're the immovable object.
There's 3rd and 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here you go, big fella. Give me everything you got. You're coming right back off. So this is it. Give me everything you got. I mean, maybe need to do this, 8 to 12 times in a game, which you need guys like that. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Blountstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Cheers and enjoy an ice-cold beer or a glass of wine with your cigar. Jerry's is a great place to watch sports on our big flat-screen TVs and offers a comfortable setting for lively conversation. Visit our original store on Scherer Road or our new second location on Cary Forest Parkway. We hope to see you soon.
Don't just listen to The Jeff Cameron Show. Watch it live. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Live weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. Head to ESPNTallahassee.com today to watch live or catch up on demand. The Jeff Cameron Show Streamcast. Brought to you by Nice Tire and Auto, your trusted Goodyear dealer.
Nice Tire and Auto, just minutes away from FSU campus.
What gives one company the edge over another? Maybe it's not one thing. Maybe it's taking care of lots of things that help a business run smoothly. In other words, Cintas. Cintas has products that help your people stay safe and apparel programs that convey the right image. They service fire protection equipment, deliver and stock restroom supplies, and make sure facilities are clean and ready. Because when all those things work together, you're in business.
Oh, I'm ready!
Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
Headed to the new Gordos, 'cause Eddie hit a home run just like the old Gordos. Ooh.
Jeff, I'm sitting right here, man. Why do you always speak about me in the third person?
Loving the new Gordos.
You gotta quit singing, man.
Got the outside deck. When the weather shifts, I'm gonna sit outside at the new Gordos.
Are we ever gonna get there? Can you speed up, please?
Lots of TVs.
1460 Market Street.
Woohoo!
The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
During the week, so we're going to Memphis to get out of town.
By the way, don't forget at the top of the hour, the Rattler Report. Did I get that right?
Rattler Review.
I call it the report every time, and I know it's the review. Rattler Review coming up at the top of the hour. That's what you need to know. So when this show ends, you stay tuned and listen to that show because it's good. I want to thank my friends at Cornerstone Tool and Fastener for sponsoring the program. It's always appreciated. Remember, they're open tomorrow. They're currently open right now, but they're also open tomorrow from till noon, 8 to noon. If you don't know where they are, there are two locations, 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Go see all the cool stuff. It's all you do-it-yourselfers and big business people. So
that's the 1110 Stuckey Ave, Tallahassee location.
That's open tomorrow.
That is open tomorrow. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. The New York Yankees starter, CC Sabathia, old fatty fat.
Still going.
Was in the middle of a one-hitter, and then he got a little frustrated, and he snapped. He was about to he entered the yesterday's game against the Rays, having pitched in 148 innings this season. And what was his final start of the year yesterday, he needed to last through the 7th inning in order to get to 155 innings. And you say, well, what the hell does that have to do with anything, man? Well, at 155 innings, his bonus kicks in. It is a bonus of $500,000. That's not $10,000. It's $500,000. He got ejected from the game.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to tell me he got yanked by the manager and then he had to dress down Aaron Boone.
No, Vic Carapazza, the umpire, decided he had enough of CC Sabathia, who took issue after throwing a cutter at about 92 miles per hour to catcher Jesus Sucre, and it actually hit him, and then at that point he got tossed. And what you have in CC Sabathia is saying, quote, "I don't really make decisions based on money. It just felt like it was the right thing to do." Carapazza had issued warnings minutes prior to that, following the pitch in the top of the inning from Rays reliever Andrew Kittredge that sailed behind Yankees catcher Austin Romine's head. There's some bad blood between the two squads.
So clearly he did not care about the $500K if warnings were already issued.
Yeah, I don't know if he realized he was that close. He went on to say, anytime you feel like one of your players' safety's in jeopardy, all guys are going to take exception to that. Aaron Boone said he didn't see the original warning issued by Carapazza, but understood why his pitcher felt the need to retaliate. There's no question there was intent from their guy. You've had some guys hit in this series, and then you throw one over our head? I hated it, said Boone, who once obviously played with CC Sabathia back when he was with Cleveland. If you're going to play that game and you start messing around with people's heads, we're going to take exception to that. And so our guy did. Well, at least there's, they're just willing to admit it. They did it. But, man, he's 2 innings from, can you imagine, $500,000?
Well, it's one thing if he'd given up 5 runs on 8 hits.
Well, yeah, he was in the midst of,
and he's at 97 pitches. Then he knows he's not going to get it anyway. But in this case, he would have very much gotten to that point of the game.
Yeah, there had been a conversation between the two catchers previous, and so when he got to the plate, there was some more jawing, and then that happened, and so there's definitely no doubt about who was doing what and why. As he was walking off the mound following the ejection, Sabathia turned toward the Rays dugout, pointed and shouted, "That was for you, you blank, blank, M blank." That was
wow.
He was not having it. He directed the anger specifically at the dugout. Sabathia made motion towards below his waist as well as he was walking off the field.
He got his money's worth and threw away some more while he was at it.
Yeah. And then from there, Rays pitcher Blake Snell was seen motioning, "It's 11-0. Why? Of course we're not throwing at you." So who? You know what I like about this, other than it cost him $500,000, is that somebody's going to get hit in spring training.
Yep.
That never goes away. It's beautiful. It will continue.
It sets the stage for next year, which if you're a Rays fan, you love it. Because remember, before the Rays climbed to prominence, Joe Madden had some things happen in spring training.
Oh, yeah.
Where they got into some altercations with AL
the Red
East
Sox
rivals.
a lot.
Yes.
All the time.
The Yankees, too. He was willing to announce Tampa's presence. So maybe that's what's, they're winning 88, 90 games this year anyway, the Rays are. But maybe that's for the future. They need something to take them into the postseason because they're going golfing next week.
Let me ask you a question. How many wins do you think all time CC Sabathia, who's been pitching forever, most of your lifetime, how many wins do you think he has?
CC Sabathia
got the win yesterday.
Okay, he has 207.
It's a good guess, man. He's done better than I thought. He's got 246.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's in the top 50. The win yesterday moved him top 50 all time.
Good for him, man. I mean, he's making his case for the Hall of Fame. I mean, 250 career wins these days has to be
it's
kind of like
impressive.
320 years ago.
And I thought he was all but a shot pitcher just 4 years ago. I mean, 4 years ago, he looked awful. You're going, oh, this is over. I remember the first time he ever came out of the bullpen for Cleveland at Al Lang. I was at the old Al Lang in spring training watching him come out of the bullpen. I'd never heard of him.
You were 12 at the time.
I mean, yeah, I was with my buddy Eric, and he came out, and it was the same game that Jim Tomei hit one over the batter's eye at the old Al Lang Stadium, Florida Power Park. And if you know about that park, that batter's eye was like 50 feet high out in center. So it was 405 out to center plus the batter's eye, and Tomei hit one to the moon that day. And I remember thinking, that's a strong man. But then Sabathia came out and he was throwing 100 because he was a mountainous man.
Yes, he was.
And I remember thinking, who's this guy? Good Lord, look at this cat.
Now he's like a big hill.
Oh, he's just flabby. Throw it 92. He must have reared back and threw everything he had into that one, right?
He's a pitcher now.
Yeah.
It is still an art. It can be.
It can be. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Being good at life means getting your finances together so you can focus on the moments that matter most. With over 170 years of expertise, New York Life Insurance Company provides you with benefits you can enjoy while you're, living. So give Andrew Nelson, your local New York Life agent, a call. He can help you build a solid financial future to help you and your family be good at life. You can reach him at 850-583-4460 or look for him at newyorklife.com.
SMRU number 1709096. Expiration 7/31/2020.
Football is in full swing, and so are the Milwaukee deals at Cornerstone Tool & Fastener. Almost every M18 brushless fuel kit has a $100 off trade-in. Or you can get $150 off trade-in on a 4, 5, or 6-piece M18 fuel combo kit. Buy a Milwaukee M18 High Demand 9.0 starter kit for only $259 and get a free brushless Sawzall. Milwaukee, upgrade, outwork, outlast. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, the largest Milwaukee selection in the area. It's 1110 Stuckey Ave and 3269 Crawfordville Highway. Tallahassee location open on Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Hey, I'm Jeff Doxey, Realtor for Capital Property Consultants, representing Premier Fine Homes. If you're thinking of owning your own brand new Premier home, call or text me at 850-545-4747 or email me, jeffdoxey1@gmail.com. You say where, I'll be there. Your Canopy Connection.
The legends have returned. The Legends of Hip Hop, starring Juvenile. With Too Short. Plus DJ Quick. With special guest Trick Daddy. Along with the legendary Scarface. When your mind is playing tricks on you. And 8-Ball and MJG. Tickets available at the box office, online at TuckerCivicCenter.com, or by phone at 850-645-0747. The Legends of Hip Hop. Homecoming weekend, October 5th, Donald L. Tucker Civic Center with Scarface. Plus Juvenile, 8-Ball and MJG, Too Short, DJ Quick, and Trick Daddy. The Legends of Hip Hop. Homecoming weekend, October 5th at Donald L. Tucker Civic Center.
This Day in Sports, brought to you by Superlube. Superlube, 19 Tallahassee area locations. Quick, convenient, no appointment necessary.
This Day in Sports history. September 28th, 1941. Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox recorded 6 hits and 8 at-bats in a doubleheader against the Philadelphia Athletics on the final day of the season to finish with a .406 batting average. Although no one has reached 400 since, and he led the league in walks, runs, and home runs, Williams lost the MVP to Joe DiMaggio and his 56-game hitting streak.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. For the first time since 1989, a 4-0 session sweep at the Ryder Cup. Team Europe wins all 4 afternoon alternate shot matches, with none of those matches getting beyond the 16th hole. Team USA won 3 of the 4 morning matches. ESPN's Michael Collins.
Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas together. Jordan Spieth on his own birdied 5 of the first 7 holes. And it was like Jordan was just mad he didn't make it to the Tour Championship and came out throwing haymakers at anybody who was standing near him. And then the European makes a huge comeback. Paul Casey and Tyrrell Hatton, it was just like, what you think, we just going to lay down on our home soil? It's not like that. The drama that was this morning was fantastic.
Spieth and Thomas did win that morning match, 1-up, but Europe holds the lead 5-3 after day one in Paris. Eagles running back Darren Sproles will miss his third game in a row with a sore hamstring. The Eagles face the Titans on the road on Sunday. Giants linebacker Olivier Vernon is out for Sunday's game against the Saints with an ankle injury. Chris Bryant will be back in the Cubs lineup today playing left field against the Cardinals. He missed the last two games with a bruised left wrist. That Cubs-Cardinals game 1 of 3 on today's schedule impacting the playoff race. The Rockies host the Nationals in Denver tonight. The Dodgers play the Giants in San Francisco. The Cardinals, Rockies, and Dodgers are battling for the last 2 available playoff spots. UCLA freshman Sharif O'Neal, the son of Basketball Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal, will redshirt the upcoming season for medical reasons. Sharif O'Neal tells TMZ he needs heart surgery, but that he should make a full recovery.
Broadcasting live from the AmeriGas Propane Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio. It's Libations Friday, brought to you by Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill. Quarter Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachia Parkway. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Must be a Libations Friday when you hear that song. It's about time for people to get off work and enjoy the weekend. Noles on the road, of course, against Louisville. Buccaneers, well, we'll see if they bounce back against Chicago. We'll see if Miami can stay undefeated. We'll see if my mother can bounce back and get a win against me. She hasn't in a while, as she lost again last week. I'm up 4. Cue it up, Tom. Let's make these picks.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
All right, Mom, we both had the Rams last night. They moved to 4-0 with a 38-31 win there, and now we'll get into the weekend. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Great, doing great.
I told you we had a great time at the Bucs game, even though they didn't pull out a win, but we still had a great time.
Well, I'm glad that you did, and hopefully the Bucs will bounce back this week. We'll see. And right off the bat, you've got to buckle in here. You got to get focused.
I know. I don't know. Well, this happened to me a couple of years ago where I got down quite a bit, and then I bounced back, and I think that was a year maybe we ended up tying. But anyway, so I am definitely got to get serious, though.
All right, well, let's get serious. Here we go. We'll begin with this one then. We're going to go with the Miami Dolphins, who have an opportunity to go on the road against 1-2 New England and put them in a huge hole in the division if they can keep New England reeling. Who you got?
I got to pick New England.
Me too. Houston is at Indianapolis. Who you got?
I got Indy.
The Jets, 1-2, taking on Jacksonville, who fell on their face last week against the Titans. I'm taking it you got Jacksonville.
I do. I don't know what happened to them last week, actually.
They always lose to the Titans is what happened. That's 5 of the last 6.
Is that right? I don't know all those statistics.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Cincinnati's at Atlanta. The Falcons are 1-2. The Bengals are 2-1. Who you got?
I know. That's an interesting game, I think, but I'm taking Atlanta.
Me too. Philadelphia's at Tennessee.
Philadelphia.
I had a feeling we weren't going to really disagree on much this week because of the matchups. Buffalo is at Green Bay. You're going to take Green Bay. Detroit's at Dallas. Who you taking?
I'm taking Detroit. That darn Dallas, that was my big mistake last week. And anyway, Detroit, I thought Detroit looked pretty good last week.
All right, I'll take Dallas. There we go.
Oh,
we're going back
for heaven's
and forth. All right, there we go. So I actually don't love my pick. I think, this is a toss-up, but I'll take Dallas at home. Tampa Bay on the road against Chicago.
I know. Now, you know that I want to pick Tampa Bay, and I really think they could win, but I'm worried about Khalil Mack and our the offensive line, and I took Chicago.
Well, I took Chicago as well, but I don't think that I'm not as worried about our offensive line as I am most years. But Khalil Mack is a difference maker. The Bears' defense is very, very good, and so I think it's a field goal game. I think it comes down to the wire, and I'll take the home team there. Seattle at Arizona, hideous game.
Hideous game. I'm taking Seattle.
Me too. Cleveland's at Oakland.
Yeah, now, I'm going to take Cleveland because Baker Mayfield's starting, and I don't think Oakland's doing very well, so I'm taking Cleveland.
I'll take Oakland. They've led every game going into the fourth quarter, and they've yet to win one, so I'll pick them at home to get their first win of the year against Cleveland. But it could be a fun game.
Could be.
All right, New Orleans is at the Giants.
I'm going to take New Orleans.
Me too. For some reason, I'm uneasy about it.
I know. I kind of am too, but I'm taking them.
San Francisco at the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Baltimore at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's a good game. I'm taking Baltimore, though. I don't think Pittsburgh's really that good.
I don't either, but I'm taking the Steelers. So we have three different now.
Oh, my word.
All right, here we go. And then finally, Kansas City on Monday night against their old rivals in Denver.
I know. I'm taking Kansas City.
Me too. All right, we got three different.
Three different. That's a little surprising.
Chance for you to bounce back.
I know. I need to bounce back.
You do. I've got Dallas, and you've got Detroit. I've got Oakland. You've got Cleveland. I've got Pittsburgh, and you've got Baltimore.
I do. That is it.
All right,
who does FSU play this week?
Louisville on the road.
Louisville on the road. Okay, well, good luck to them, too.
Thank you. Yeah, they need it every week. Every week
I know, that should probably be a pretty good game.
We'll see. I hope it's
you hope it's not.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think all of our games against the lesser tier teams in this league, of which we're one now, are going to be really close. So they're all going to be coming down to the fourth quarter, I think. I think it's a long year for Florida State.
Oh, Lordy, I'm telling you. All right, sweetie. Well, anyway, we've got our picks in. So, anyway, and I'm going to be rooting hard for the Bucs.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you again over the weekend, Mom. Love you. Bye-bye.
All right. Love you. Y'all have a good weekend.
All right.
Bye-bye.
There we go. There's Mama. Tom's disgusted. He's picking the Bucs on the road to get the win and move to 3-1. I like it.
It's just a confidence pick. I don't know if it's the right pick, but come on, have some gusto.
I don't think it's a case where they can't win the football game. I'm not implying that in any way, shape, or form. I think they can go win the game. I think it comes down to the literally, this just feels like a classic salary cap league game. Fourth quarter, whoever's not turning it over, somebody kicks a field goal and wins it.
A Dirk Cutter special is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, just a little 20-17, 24-21 action. What are you thinking, by the way, with our offense being the best offense in all of football against currently statistically against that defense, which is one of the three best in the league?
I think, well, honestly, I look the other way. I look at their offense against our defense, and I just wonder. I wonder what they have. I know that Nagy, I've learned his pronunciation of his name yet. He runs these weird sets. I mean, it's Andy Reid, Kansas City style, where you get some multiple back sets. They like to put Tariq Cohen in space like he's Tyreek Hill, but he's not Tyreek Hill.
Thankfully.
And, well, hell, Trubisky's not Patrick Mahomes. He's not even Alex Smith. So I just wonder what kind of looks they're going to present and what kind of defense will be able to play. The quarterback play is not very good. So you stop the run, and now we're in a 17-13 type game.
Yeah, he hasn't played. He hasn't played. Mitchell Trubisky has not played well. So yeah, I think that is our hope, right?
But that place is—they're always loud in Chicago. But now they've got a defense to root for. That is their identity. So that place is going to be wild.
History.
So you got to have your communications all set, and it would be nice to know who the quarterback is. But I think that if it's Jameis, I feel better about our chances. Believe it or not.
Oh, I can believe that because he's a better football player.
Short week and rust factor, though, would play into the context of that statement. Not overall week to week. I'm just saying, he's been gone for a month, and yet they're coming off a short week.
What makes you feel better on a short week, given what you just said? Why is it that you feel better about him than Ryan Fitzpatrick in this game?
Well, because what I saw out of Fitzpatrick on Monday night was he missed 4 or 5 wide open throws.
Yes, he did.
Good reads. He made the right read. He just wasn't able to execute the throw. I think Jameis will be able to execute throw for throw more than Fitzpatrick will. And I think he'll also be able to check us in right protections more. And with this offensive line that can block well, if you're seeing what's coming a little bit better, then I think that you're obviously in a better position to succeed if you can make the throws, and I think he's a better thrower of the football than Fitzpatrick. But the one thing I will allow for is Fitz has been putting it on the correct shoulder an awful lot this season so far.
Oh, man, he's been really accurate. There's no question when he does, especially the deep ball. When he throws the deep ball, it's where it needs to be.
But even some of these intermediate throws to Evans or Godwin or the tight ends, I mean, if it has to be trailing shoulder, it is right on the money on the trailing shoulder.
Chris to bounce back. Going to need Chris to have a game.
That was tough. He's always been a plus player. That's his first negative game of his career.
Big time, though. That was I was looking at him going, my man.
You know, I think everybody experiences this. They always find the similarities between their college and their pro team.
Yeah.
But seeing what happened to Trey McKitty on Saturday and then what happened to Godwin on Monday, I'm going, hey,
what? You guys aren't supposed to
you're
do
the
that.
reliable ones.
You're
what
the people that I trust. Why would you do this to me? Damn it, man. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this. It's right here, guys. We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Don't gamble your valuable home to an inexperienced roofer. Parker Brothers has been in business in the community since 1995. Give us a call now at 656-8112.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
CGC 042221, CCC 049350.
Just how good does a Sport Clips championship haircut experience make you feel? Like your hair has its own walk-up music. No matter what kind of guy you are. Maybe you play sports. Maybe you play sports online. Or maybe your sport is keeping up with your kids. You want hair so good it deserves its own walk-up music. And at Sport Clips, we make it easy. Just check in online, choose your stylist, and head to Sport Clips. You'll get a game-changing cut from a stylist trained for guys. Go big with the MVP experience and get recharged with a massaging shampoo and their legendary hot steamed towel. They'll always finish strong by styling your hair just right, tightening up that beard, and getting you on your way. Hair this good needs no introduction, but you'll want one anyway. Appointment-free championship haircuts for men and boys surrounded by what you know and love, sports. So get in line online today at sportclips.com/check-in and get your hair in the game.
You're listening to The Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Oh, I'm a little dejected. I'm in a good mood for a lot of reasons, but I'm a bit saddened as we enter the final segment of the week and really the final probables of the year. Tom, now this hurts.
You destroyed the only thing I love.
We do love probables. I've always enjoyed probables, and so it kind of, it usually signals something and signifies something, and it's a time in the year that you kind of, all right, so this is what we're doing now.
Maybe we should play Sinatra's My Way, because it's like a funeral song.
We could do that, but it would be so depressing leaving on a Friday to My Way.
Do you remember the Derek Jeter Gatorade ad or Nike
Incredible.
ad, whatever it was?
One of the great ads of all time.
That is
the tipping of the cap.
That is all-time greatness right there.
It is, especially the kid's face when he sees Jeets. And when he goes into the diner and the guy's got the picture on his cash register. Yeah, well, and Jeter in the car looking out at the memories and riding up
for the crescendo. He's in the dugout.
Oh, he's in the tunnel, and then you've got the clubhouse guy sitting there, and they do their dap for the final time, and the clubhouse guy you're like, oh no.
Whoever wrote that commercial is
it's good, right? Yeah,
they should be like a wedding coordinator.
Yeah, it's impressive. It made me a little melancholy, but also it's cool because you do want to take stock in moments like that of something that's come and gone, and appreciate it,
The best was when Mariano Rivera was done, and Jeter and Petty came out.
Yeah.
Oh God, that guy, him losing it. I'm no Yankee man.
I'm not a Yankee fan in the slightest, but I admired him.
To the locals, given where I was born, I am. But I'm a Met. I am no Yankee.
Yeah.
And that when you see real moments like that, that's what that song does to you.
By the way, and baseball's got a brewing problem here. This is going to be interesting. Jeff Passan of Yahoo has written a story, and once we bring up Yahoo, usually it's not good. But you have a federal grand jury investigating Major League Baseball's international dealings. And officials on all sides are extremely worried about what they're going to find.
It's about damn time. It was this, open secret. You're just signing these kids in third world countries or Central American countries if they're a little bit more advanced economically. And there's no draft process. They don't have representation. You have a lot of clubs run into trouble with the academies they had where they lose draft picks or they lose the amount of money that they can spend on international signings.
Yeah, and the exact target of the inquiry was not confirmed at the time that Passan wrote the story, but he said that the sources are saying that investigators have now subpoenaed at least one former Atlanta Braves official as well as people involved with the signing of Cuban star Hector Olivera, who agreed to a deal with the Dodgers before being traded to the Braves. Multiple witnesses have agreed to cooperate with the investigation. And, this has to do with the plundering of Latin American talent, as we know. And it's festered for a long time. So.
Well, yeah, you're hearing stories of factories, and a factory is never really a good image when you're talking about people. But
it's not even a good image when you're talking about the chicken used at fast food restaurants.
Oh, well, that's true, too.
I mean, I'm saying it never sounds like a good thing.
Right,
yeah.
When you're dealing with life. All right, let's just do it that way.
Yeah.
And you've got academies in Venezuela, or you've got an academy or a pipeline in, the Dominican, wherever it is. I mean,
impoverished nations, yeah.
It's much like recruiting for college kids, except they don't have any rights of citizenship.
I was gonna say it's a little bit different in that way,
but you got to go through the handler and the uncle and whoever.
Well, you remember reading the story of Puig and all of that. I mean, remember how sordid that was, and you thought, how often does this happen? It seems like it would happen a lot.
The cartels transporting them across the borders and stuff.
Absolutely bizarre. On that note, here are probables. All right, baseball.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
I am going to enjoy the final probables, damn it. Mishandling human beings, treating them as cattle is not going to get in the way of my love of baseball. White Sox Twins, Lucas Giolito and Chase DeJong. It's DeJong, I'm sure.
We need more. Whatever you said first, we need more of that with America tomorrow.
I like me some Chase DeJong. Old Chase DeJong hasn't lasted more than 4 1/3 innings in any of his starts this year. Just letting you know. Cards, Cubs, Adam Wainwright, Kyle Hendricks. We got the Pirates and the Reds. Nick Kingham, Anthony DeScalfini. 1 win to finish 500 or above. Come on, guys. Braves, Phillies, Mike Fultinovich. Jared Eichhoff goes for the reeling Phillies. Astros, Orioles, Garrett Cole, David Hess. Did that game get rained out last night?
I don't know.
Cole was supposed to pitch that game last night. Marlins, Mets, Jose Arena, Corey Oswalt. We've got J.A. Happ going for the Yankees. The Red Sox will throw Brian Johnson. Jays, Rays, Thomas Pannone and Tyler Glasnow.
Pannone.
Tigers, Brewers, Jordan Zimmerman, Zach Davies. We've got the Nationals and the Rockies, Joe Ross, Kyle Freeland. Indians, Royals, Mike Clevenger, Ian Kennedy. A's, Angels, Mike Fires. Best record in terms of gambling for your return on investment since going to the A's of any pitcher in the American League. Did you know that?
No, not at all. But you would. Big Daddy does.
Big Daddy knows that when Fires hits the hill, you bet on the A's. He's been good. Jaime Barrea goes for the Angels. The D-backs and the Padres, Patrick Corbin, Eric Lauer. Rangers, Mariners, Martin Perez, Wade LeBlanc still in the league. Dodgers, Giants. Ooh, the Dodgers are up against it. Dodgers are up against it. I think it's hilarious. They're going to roll Ryu out there. And Madison Bumgarner takes the hill to the Giants.
And his country strength.
Oh, that'll make me laugh if that happens. Goodness gracious. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Thanks to all of you for listening. Have a great weekend. Go Noles, and we'll talk to you on Monday.